Welcome to the first ever virtual telethon and fundraiser for the kids at Happy Hill Farm. Man, I'm excited about tonight. I'm excited to be here so that you can see some behind the scenes from Happy Hill Farm, some interviews with alumni and current students and faculty and staff and my family members. I'm just pumped for you to be able to hear the stories of changed lives here at Happy Hill Farm. We're doing this because we got a $150,000 matching challenge. So if we raise $150,000 during tonight's telethon, that match will unlock. That means $300,000 directly to the kids at Happy Hill Farm. Now I want to challenge you right now to give at happyhillfarm.org/give. It's a wonderful opportunity for every dollar you give to be doubled tonight. And if you're not familiar with Happy Hill Farm, what do we do here? Well, we take care of kids and we build tomorrow's champions. All of our students here at Happy Hill Farm are driven, bright young men and women, but they're coming out of low opportunity situations. So if you've ever been here to Happy Hill Farm, you'll know that's what we do. We provide opportunity so that they can learn and grow and be safe and be all that God created them to be and to do. So I'm excited you're here with me tonight. I'm pumped to raise some money for the kids at Happy Hill Farm and give you a look inside what we do here at Happy Hill Farm. We'll be back in 1 minute. Remember, you can give to the kids at Happy Hill Farm tonight at the URL happyhillfarm.org/give. I thank you for committing to watch this, to being involved with us. Remember, if you're watching on Facebook, please like, share, comment, engage with this video, and share it with your friends and your family. We've been around for 45 years, Happy Hill Farm. A lot of people know about us, but maybe not exactly what we do. So this telethon is a wonderful opportunity to invite your friends and family into and behind the scenes the work that's done at Happy Hill Farm. So I'm going to kick off tonight by telling you a story. And this is the founding story of Happy Hill Farm. In 1974, my grandparents, Ed and Gloria Shipman, received a knock on their door from the sheriff in the small Texas county that we're in, and he was standing there with two young girls, aged 14 and 16. He looked at my grandfather and he said, "You are the pastor in this town. These girls have nowhere to go. I need your help. Will you take them in?" And that was 1974, and that kicked off a search for a particular kind of school for these girls. They were bright and gifted and driven, but they were lacking opportunity. Their parents were no longer in the picture. So my grandparents drove all over the state of Texas, Oklahoma, and Louisiana trying to find a quality Christian boarding school for these two girls. And that was the beginning of Happy Hill Farm. The next year, my grandfather went to my great-grandfather who owned this property, these 250 acres, the first 250 acres, and said, hey, I know you're doing this housing development, but I want to sell everything I have and buy it to start a school and a home for kids. And my great-grandfather said, okay. And so my grandfather bought it from him. He sold his new house. He cashed out his retirement. They bought a single-wide trailer, and they rolled it onto the first 250 acres of Happy Hill Farm that was mainly just mesquite trees, to be honest. And there at the time, my dad and uncle were 14 and 16. My grandmother was there, and they started Happy Hill Farm. Soon after, they brought in 8 boys, started this school, and that was the very humble beginning of Happy Hill Farm. Now, if you've been out since 1975, you know that a lot of progress has happened. And it's happened because of friends and donors like you. In a regular year, we serve almost 200 kids a day. Half board with us and half come from the community. And like I said earlier in this broadcast, these are wonderfully talented and driven kids that are coming out of low opportunity situations. So what we do here is we fill in that opportunity gap. And we give them all the experiences and opportunities they need to be tomorrow's champions. So if you've given, or if you're considering giving, know that that's what you do. You directly support the kids at Happy Hill Farm. And you can give tonight to this telethon by visiting happyhillfarm.org/give. happyhillfarm.org/give. Or you can call to pledge, directly call the farm and pledge your donation to 469-573-0234. Now remember, this is a big deal because we have that $150,000 match. So the goal for tonight is to raise $150,000 so that we can unlock the full match and give $300,000 to the kids here at Happy Hill Farm. We'll be right back.
I've had a wonderful life in the sense that God has let me be a part of the lives of so many people.
Ed's accomplishments over the years have been nothing short of remarkable. I think that's the one thing I will always take away from Ed is his just dogged determination in good times and bad times. He has a vision, and that vision is being lived out every day at the farm.
For as long as I can remember, I've grown up fundraising and traveling with my grandfather. I started when I was 5, riding in his Suburban, going to generous donors around the Metroplex and meeting them and learning what he does. He's shown me through all of that, he does it for the love of children, to help them and transform them and create and grow Christian individuals that will be productive citizens in our country.
One of my favorite things about my grandfather is to watch him interact with the alumni that come back to campus. They genuinely see him as their grandfather. His presence is just such a settling presence to all of us. And that's going to be hard to not have that every day. But when I was a kid and I didn't understand him or what he was doing or the reason that any of this mattered, I could have easily thought of a world without him, And now that's exceedingly difficult because I understand the legacy that he's left and the fact that we have some kids enrolled in our school who are kids of kids who have graduated, which is an amazing thing. I mean, what kind of gift is that to not just be able to impact a few kids, but generations of the same family positively? It's just a wonderful thing we have. He's given us to carry on.
His determination, his hard work, his perseverance, even when times were tough. His goal every day was to help children, and he never lost sight of that. I think what my brother and I took away the most from spending so much time with my dad is his genuine Christian concern for people and the love he showed to people regardless of their background or their position in life. And he taught us to always help people in any way that we could.
If I would want to make one point to some young Christian out there, pastor, family man, salesman, whatever, make yourself available. I mean, the opportunities will be there. Spirit of God will open them up to you. But most folks just sort of, that's as far as they go. I mean, they hear it, they go home, they live 6 more days exactly the way they did before. But just make yourself available. And then look around. It's just a miracle. One miracle after the other. Not without hard work. I figured out a long time ago, you pray hard and you work hard, and they go together. But blessing upon blessing upon blessing.
I think Ed Shipman's legacy will be his wonderful heart and how big it is and was, and how much he loved and cared for every single person that he encountered and every single person that came to this school and every single person that ever worked for him.
Mr. Shipman, without him, I don't think I could have done it. I think I would have still been a lost kid, not knowing what to do and being doubtful and always being stressed out. Without Mr. Shipman, I don't think I would be the person I am today.
Mr. Shipman is such a great man. I mean, to build all this from almost nothing, and of course the Lord helped him, but all this perseverance he's had, I mean, I know I couldn't last that long. I mean, starting from practically nothing with only God. I mean, he's almost like Abraham in a ways. God just called him to start this place, and I'm sure that he's converted so many people to Christianity.
I think I want people to most remember and know about him that he was the most selfless, giving man I've ever met, and gave his whole life in every way to help serve others.
Gloria and I have done this together, 62 years. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She's special. She is special, isn't she, Lucas? Yep, she's special. And then my grandkids, and now my beautiful great-grandkids. So many blessings. Won't it be fun to get to heaven someday and see all the people whose paths you've crossed and that have interacted with you, and you've blessed them and they've blessed you. I love that scene from C.S. Lewis's The Great Divorce, in which he describes the lady out in the field of flowers and the kids, running toward her. Lucas, I've said so much, you don't have anything to say.
As I stand here and listen to that, my grandfather passed away in 2016. That is still tough to get through, to be able to hear his voice and his heart for the kids. But man, what a special guy. I have not known and probably will never know another man like that, who so selflessly answered the call that God had put on his heart. You just heard the story of how this place came to be in 1974. And man, he was in the middle of a good life, had a great job, was in his mid-40s, sort of looking forward at retirement, had teenage sons, had just built a new house outside of Glen Rose, and the Lord just stopped him in his tracks. And he devoted, until the day he died at 83 years old, every waking moment to the kids on this campus. You heard my sister talk about the moments that she remembers in that Suburban. He had a SUV from as long as I can remember that he would put 150, 200,000 miles on a year, burning up the Metroplex, visiting some of you, sharing about the changed lives at Happy Hill Farm, sharing about how proud he was of the kids that we had and their accomplishments. And man, as I stand here, I'm humbled. I'm humbled to be a part of this. I'm humbled to join with you in the Lord's work. It truly is that. You're going to hear in a little bit from some alumni and some current students, and I just want you to know that beautiful work that my grandfather references in that video is still happening today at Happy Hill Farm. Brian, I read your comment. I just want to thank you for those kind words and that blessing, that prayer for the school. I appreciate you. It's wonderful to be able to look through and see what people are saying and chiming in about how Happy Hill Farm has impacted them. This is a beautiful place. It is a worthwhile place for us to devote our lives to. The Lord has given us good and hard work to do, just as you heard my grandfather say. So I want to invite you at this moment, if you feel called to give, visit happyhillfarm.org/give to donate. And remember, we have that $150,000 match, so every penny is doubled today. You can also call to pledge at 469-573-0234. Thank you if you've already given. I really appreciate it. Know that the kids at Happy Hill Farm will be blessed through this. We had a difficult 2020, as did everyone else on planet Earth, but I'm excited about what God has for us and has for our students here at Happy Hill Farm in 2021. So I want to talk for just a minute. If you've never been out to Happy Hill Farm, I want to share on this telethon right now, the scope of the program that we offer to kids. This school is a kindergarten through 12th grade preparatory academy with a very small teacher to student ratio. So the kids at Happy Hill Farm get great personalized attention no matter what kind of learning style they have or difficulties or whatever they're coming out of. The teachers here at Happy Hill Farm are absolutely amazing. As I walk through these halls, we're in our library right now at the school, and as I walk through these halls and looked into the classrooms of some teachers that taught me here at Happy Hill Farm. I think about Mrs. Talley and the Wilcoxes and folks who've been here for decades, devoting their lives to kids at Happy Hill Farm. It's just a beautiful thing. You think about the school, we talk about our residences. We don't have dormitories at Happy Hill Farm. We have homes. And so it's 8 boys or 8 girls that live with resident parents. It's a family. We are a family here at Happy Hill Farm, and know that this is how lives are changed, right? To take children and to put them in a loving family that honors and follows Jesus and calls them to do the same. That's how lives are changed. Think about sports, and you can see behind me the trophy case and just how competitive our kids are at Happy Hill Farm. You think about the equestrian program and the fact that our kids can actually learn horsemanship. You think about the arts, the spiritual formation, which is really the foundation of everything we do here at Happy Hill Farm. This place is built upon the gospel of Jesus Christ, and we're proud of that, and we're proud that you partner in evangelizing those kids. When we have kids come here who've never heard the good news, they hear it here at Happy Hill Farm. So I want to challenge you to give at happyhillfarm.org/give. I also want to take a moment here to thank our stream sponsor, FlowServe. We've had a wonderful relationship with them for going on maybe a decade and a half now. They sponsor the Dallas Cowboys kickoff luncheon, which benefits Happy Hill Farm. They gave to the 5K and the Fall Festival, which was our big virtual fundraiser in the fall, and they gave to make this stream possible. So thank you, FlowServe. Right now, I'd like to give an update on our progress. Let's see the bar at the bottom. Wow, we are at $30,000 out of our $150,000 match goal. Man, if you have given, I thank you. I'm honored that you would consider a gift to the kids at Happy Hill Farm and to build tomorrow's champions. I'm excited about our next segment. You're going to hear from a former student who has a wonderful story, who I enjoyed interviewing, and I know that this will bless you like it blessed me. Hi, everybody. I'm glad you are tuned in to the Telethon. And at this moment, I am very excited to introduce you to one of our alumni. This is Captain Heather Shepard in the U.S. Air Force. And we're just super proud of her achievements. We're excited to have her on the live stream and give her an opportunity to tell you about what her life has been like, her experience at the farm, and now what she's doing serving our great country. And so, Heather, I'm going to throw it over to you and just introduce yourself and tell us where you're at and how long you were at the farm and what you're up to now.
Okay, awesome. Well, hello, everyone. Again, I am Captain Heather Shepard. I am in the United States Air Force, serving currently as a aircraft software program manager. As was mentioned, yes, I went to Happy Hill Farm. I was there from 2007 to 2009 during mainly my junior and senior year as a high schooler. So great experience. I am super thankful for the opportunity to attend Happy Hill Farm because I absolutely would not be in the position where I'm at today wearing this uniform without Happy Hills. So I'm very, very thankful. I think you asked me a couple of questions. What am I supposed to answer again?
No, that's great. So a lot of people watching this, we're kind of have a twofold reason for doing this live stream. One is to kind of educate and get the word out about what we do at Happy Hill Farm. And then also just to kind of thank donors and give them a bit of a behind the scenes. So in between the live segments with me and these pre-recorded segments, we're going to show off the campus and talk about the current students we have and just kind of give them a whole history of the farm. So yeah, just kind of tell everybody what you're up to now, your experience in the Air Force Academy, all of that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yep. So after I went to Happy Hill Farm, while I was there, I got accepted to the United States Air Force Academy, which Happy Hill Farm helps so much with that. We also had an amazing donor. I believe he currently is still a donor, Mr. Chad Hennings. And he is awesome. I've actually kept up with him a little bit throughout the years as I went to the Air Force Academy. So he helped to kind of connect me, get me in, make sure that I got my senator and congresswoman nomination. And so I went on to the United States Air Force Academy. I ran track and field there as a D1 athlete, which was a juggle in itself because attending, a top tier military academy and being a D1 athlete, out of Happy Hill Farm, where I only had 2 years of sports as a background, was a lot. It was challenging, but honestly, Happy Hill kind of gave me that grit and that resiliency to push forward and still be able to compete and blend in at such a high elite level with other D1 athletes. So I really enjoyed the opportunity not only to get some military experience, to attend what I would consider a STEM school, science, technology, engineering, math, heavily focused university or academy, and run track. So while there, I was actually privileged to be coached by Olympic gold medalist Alan Johnson. So it was really just perfect timing because he was only there for about 2 to 3 years, and it happened to be my sophomore through senior year. So basically just my athletic level just skyrocketed from the foundation I had built at HHF to being coached by him at the United States Air Force Academy. There, I also majored in pre-law. So I have a pretty heavy law background. I had many professors try to push me to law school to be what's similar to like a JAG in the Air Force. And was. I just did not go that route. I considered it for a while, and I still to this day have considered law school. But what I ended up being pushed to as my career field, what is called contracting. So I gained the position of a contracts officer, and what we do is we negotiate contracts on behalf of the government for anything from like services to commodities to maintenance support. I mean, if you think about it, any and everything around you that's put in place has some sort of contractual agreement involved. And when you're doing, business with the government, there's definitely a lot of red tape, a lot of terms and conditions, because we are having to be stewards of the taxpayer dollar. And that's essentially, from your perspective, probably what you care most about. And what I did in my position was that I use the taxpayer dollars the correct way, legally, and it was put towards things that as a defense department, we actually are using to build and support and, push our military into the next century, across not only the United States, but the world. So that's kind of what my main career field was. As I mentioned, right now, I'm kind of in this really cool gig as a software program manager. So, you're always in the military, constantly growing, trying to be proficient in multiple areas and not just learn one skill set, but multiple. And so I did this competitive program where they were like, okay, we will cross you over into another career field of people that you work with as a contracting officer. So realistically, I've done aircraft contracts working with major defense contractors. But they're like, let's put you in a position that gives you a little bit of experience as a program manager overseeing not just contracts or acquisitions, but overseeing cost, schedule, quality control of an entire program. And so obviously our aircraft, you have to maintain them just like an iPhone's maintained with software updates. You have to maintain these major weapon systems that are just software driven. I mean, the B-2 itself is just a software machine. And so it takes an entire massive team of not just myself, but civilians to really make sure from a maintenance and upgrade perspective, we stay at the cutting edge of technology when it comes to our weapon systems in the military. And so I'm really thankful that I've been a part of that team. I have an amazing amount of engineers because I'm lost half the time in this position. I'm more business, legal minded, not so much engineering minded, but I have an amazing team of software engineers, developers, coders, maintainers that, we could be in the middle of a meeting and I'm like, explain this, what's happening? So I'm really thankful for the position or the opportunity to learn something new, be in a new position. And I'm kind of here in this position for at least the next year. And then I'll go back into my contracting officer, contracts negotiation position, but with knowledge and experience of what it's like to manage an overall program and support that program manager as a contracting officer. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Very cool. So before I hit record, we talked briefly about the V2, and you described it as the triangle, and I thought, okay, I saw that fly over the Super Bowl. So tell us which one that was and tell us a little bit about it for folks who don't know what the V2 bomber is.
Okay, yeah. So a lot of times I say the B2 and people are like, what is that? Just like a B2. So what I kind of call it is it kind of looks like a little Batmobile in the sky. It's like triangle shape. And for most people that watch the Super Bowl, if you watch the flyover right after the national anthem, you saw 3 aircraft fly over. So the B-2 was leading the way. It was kind of in the middle at the front. And again, triangle shape. So that was the one leading the flyover. There were other bombers in that mix. That I believe the B-1 Lancer was there and maybe the B-52. I don't remember what the third aircraft was, but I was super excited to see on national television. I'm like, yes, there she is. She's so amazing. Like the coolest current aircraft configuration weapon system that we have in our military was just representing over the Super Bowl. So if you haven't seen the B-2 before, that was your opportunity to see it in action, because I highly doubt you'll ever see it in action ever again.
Yeah.
They're not very noticeable. They're very stealth.
Yeah.
So
you wouldn't want to be in anywhere where that was in action.
Yeah. You don't hope to see that aircraft.
Yeah, you don't hope to see it. That was neat though. That's cool that, that was just, we're going to be broadcasting this on the 25th of February. So it was just a few weeks ago. So everybody's going to have that in their brain and know, hey, this is someone who works on that aircraft. Really cool. So that's a neat connection. We just appreciate you coming on here and talking to the donors. And I love the story of the Air Force Academy and Chad Hennings, who is a former cowboy and served multiple tours and has multiple Super Bowl rings and is an awesome guy and a great supporter of the kids at Happy Hill Farm, still is and has been for years. And so a lot of neat weaving parts of your story that kind of summarizes what Happy Hill Farm is and who we help and why it's an important thing. And Heather and I talked for just a second. We had a little bit of an overlap when we were both in school together at the farm. And I said, last time you saw me, I had long hair. I was a young kid, but it's been a few years. So it was good to see you. And I thank you for coming on. And if you have any parting thoughts here for donors, anything you'd like to share about, why Happy Hill Farm matters, I'll give you a moment to share that.
Yes. So, I am living, walking, breathing example of why your donations matter, why Happy Hill Farm matters. If I have to think back to one thing that as a kid I really didn't have until Happy Hill Farm, it's the one word that comes to mind is hope. I didn't really picture or be able to paint a life for myself. I didn't know what that would look like. And when I got to Happy Hill, the opportunities that were presented to me were really the number one key. And kids that come to Happy Hill Farm, that's what they're missing. They're missing hope and they're missing opportunities. And donors, supporters, people that pour their lives and souls into those kids, that's what you're offering them. And you're saying, hey, we understand where you came from, but it doesn't have to continue to be that way. And the ability to be able to paint a picture and a future, a vision for myself that said, I can achieve this because someone gave that opportunity to me is priceless, honestly. You can't really put a price on that. So I am personally so thankful for the life that you donors have given me. I love serving my country. I love the accomplishments that I've had. And me, I'm the same way now. I try to give back to my community, to other airmen that are coming up in the military, that I live a life of service as well. And there's a kind of a selfish aspect to that because you feel good about it. You feel like, it's a good thing. It makes you feel better about yourself. There's healing aspects to living a life of service as well. So I know as a donor, there's service aspects and selfish aspects in that too. So I really appreciate it. I know the kids appreciate it. And I can't wait to see, more children growing up and being successful and achieving happiness from Happy Hill Farm as we go forth in the future. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. You have a blessed day.
You too. Bye.
So I've been working as the admissions director for about 6 years now, and it's a long process to get students here from even in the United States and different countries. But I had a student come, a male student last year. He's a senior, and he said, Ms. Roush, can you help me get my sister out of our country and to America? And I said, okay, knowing that it's a lot harder to move girls and get them visas and get them into the United States. I said, let's try it. We can do this. So we started the process of getting his sister here and had to pay for a lot of different parts of her visa, and then she had to get here, and your donations made that possible, that we had the means to pay for a plane ticket and get her here. It was a long process. She had several stops, but once she got here, we saw a beautiful, gifted young lady, and she got into our art program, and she sang in the choir this year. She loves math, and she's very good at it. And she's just blossomed and grown into this beautiful young lady that sees a good future for herself, wants to go to college, wants to be able to provide for her family back home someday. And she says, without being here, she would not have had those opportunities at home. She only went to school a few days a week. She wasn't fed while she was at school. Just the basic needs weren't being met, and there was really nothing her family could do about it. But being here, she has those opportunities, and she's thriving. So this is one of the dozens of stories of students whose lives have been changed at Happy Hill Farm. Thank you for giving. Thank you for your donations and for changing our students' lives.
Thank you, Judy. Thank you, Svetlana. Thank you, Jennifer, for your recent gifts. I also want to thank you, Heather, for coming on the telethon and sharing your amazing story. You are living, breathing proof of the work that is done at Happy Hill Farm, and we are so proud of you. It's amazing to see where you are at. I also want to thank Betty, James, Cheryl, and Brian for their recent gifts to the kids at Happy Hill Farm. And if you want to give, you can right now at happyhillfarm.org/give. happyhillfarm.org/give. Or you can call to pledge at 469-573-0234. Remember, every dollar that's given today is immediately doubled up to $150,000. And so we are so very blessed that you're taking the time to watch this and participate in this telethon. Now, earlier on in the broadcast, I talked about the vision that my grandfather had, and you heard from him about how he felt like the Lord placed on his heart to start this place for kids with a lot of potential, but not a lot of opportunity. Now, we are in the 46th year of that ministry to kids. It's incredible. What a legacy. You just heard from Amanda that I and my father and uncle have, that we are continuing on this legacy of helping and caring for children. And the reality of about 20 years ago, my grandparents sat down and created a master plan for the campus with my dad and uncle, and we are very close to seeing that completed. We're in year 46, and so next week, for those of you who are donors, you are going to receive the Founders Mailing, which is, as you know, our yearly big thank you, our look back at the previous year, and a list of all of the wonderful people who help the kids at Happy Hill Farm. And I need to stop right here and just say, and to remind you, we take no state or federal tax money, not a penny, never will. We're not a United Way agency. We exist as a prayer ministry based upon you. Individuals make up 90% of the giving that comes in to Happy Hill Farm. Various corporations and businesses, usually owned by our friends, and some sports teams make up that other 10%. But 90% is possible because of individuals like you. So I want to share that. The reason that really matters, that makes us unique amongst facilities in the United States. I've traveled all over the United States looking at different child care facilities over the last 6-7 years that I have been involved here post-college at Happy Hill Farm, and I've seen a lot of tax dependence and dependence upon local and federal government, and that is not us. We never want to be beholden, if you get my term there. And so we are happy to be able to partner with people like you to change the lives of kids at Happy Hill Farm, to be able to teach them what they need to know freely and openly without any kind of censorship. That's what Happy Hill Farm does. And so we're grateful because that's possible because of friends and donors like you. So we're in year 46, and we're looking to the master plan to complete it in year 50. In year 50, we're going to have the campus of Happy Hill Farm completed. Now, that's a big deal. What that means is more kids can be helped, more lives can be changed, more future champions can be built up and educated and inspired to be all that God made them to be. We're going to put on the screen here one of the pages from our Founders Mailing, so you can see two of the probably biggest pieces that are needed for us to be able to say, the Happy Hill Farm campus is nearing completion. Those two projects are this. The first one is a cafetorium. Now, for those of you who've been to our campus, you've eaten lunch with me probably on a tour at our dining center. It's a beautiful facility. It's where all those wonderful cookies that I send you are made. But it really is better situated for the evening meal and for Sunday because it's at the heart of our campus where all of our residential homes surround it. But it's a mile from our school. And so what that means is every day for the last 30 years, we've had to bus kids 3 different lunch periods up to the dining center at Happy Hill Farm. And that is expensive and time-consuming. We put pen to paper a few years ago and decided we waste a lot of time and we waste a lot of money. But think bus repair, maintenance, and then all the lost time in the school going back and forth with 3 different lunch periods. So what we would really like to do is begin a capital campaign and build a cafetorium that's attached to this newer, because this school was finished in 2008, this newer school. And that looks like 100 seats. And so I say cafetorium because it's a full cafeteria and it can function as an auditorium for speaking events, for plays, for drama, for performance. And it will be attached to this current building. So the time lost is 0 minutes per day. And because it could seat 100 kids, we could reduce our lunch periods down to 2 and have even more time for education and extracurricular, because no kids like that 0 hour, right? That super early time that you have to do to get everything in for the school day. That could be eliminated, along with tens of thousands of dollars in bus maintenance and repair. So that's our first project. The second project is 3 new residential homes. Now you're going to hear over the next couple hours a lot of opportunities that are coming up at Happy Hill Farm. We're considering a soccer program to bring kids from different parts of the United States and internationally into Happy Hill Farm to help them. We're also considering a program where we help students of missionary families. So that means people who are doing the Lord's work overseas to be able to send their high school kids to Happy Hill Farm to finish their high school education on scholarship from us. And we need those 3 new residences to be able to hit that capacity and to hit those numbers. So I encourage you, remember, every penny is doubled today, up to $150,000. So give at happyhillfarm.org/give. And I want to remind you, every single person who gives during this telethon is entered into a raffle to win one of 2 prizes. One, a free foursome at our golf tournament, which is happening in April, and a dinner for 2 at Texas de Brazil. So everybody who gives is entered into a raffle to win one of those 2 prizes. And speaking of golf, if you are a golfer, I want to extend an invitation to you right now to join us. I think we only have maybe 2 teams left. And so if you're a golfer, we would love to have you. April the 16th at the Cowboys Club in Grapevine, we're going to have our 6th annual Happy Hill Farm Classic, which is just a great opportunity for us to come together, have a full round of golf, and support the kids out at Happy Hill Farm. You can register for that at happyhillfarm.org/golf. happyhillfarm.org/golf. Now I want to take a second here to acknowledge that some of you may not be able to give at this moment. There are some of you who have tuned in to this telethon because you want to see where your dollars in the past have gone. Some of you are faithful givers for years, but maybe you've come upon hard times. You're not able to give because you're on a fixed income. And I recognize that, and I would ask this from you. I would ask that you would continue to pray for the kids at Happy Hill Farm. Commit as a Bible study, as a church, as a community group, with your family. Commit to pray for the kids at Happy Hill Farm. We are blessed to be a part of the Lord's work here. And just because you can't give financially at this moment doesn't mean you can't participate. I want to pray now for us. Let's pray. Lord, we thank you for the gift of Happy Hill Farm. I thank you for providing for now 46 years for this ministry. It's incredible, Lord, to sit there in a December and to see a gift come in that brings our bills up to even, and on January 1 we start fresh. You are God, our provider. And so we praise you and we thank you. And we thank you for your care for the kids. for sending specific students and specific resident parents and teachers and wonderful staff. We thank you for the faculty and staff here at Happy Hill Farm. I thank you for them. I praise you for your wisdom in bringing these people here at this time with all their gifts and all the things that they can give to the kids to build them up and train them and love them. And I thank you for every single person watching this. Lord, I ask you to remind them of your gracious and your caring love. Remind them of what you have done, Jesus, to ransom for yourself a people. And we praise you that this place is founded on the gospel and that we preach to the students who come here. I thank you for the gifts that are coming in. I thank you for the blessings that you poured out on these kids. May you protect them. May you guide them. As Proverbs says, may you lead them on straight paths. We ask all these things in the name of the risen King, the Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Let's have a quick check on our progress towards our $150,000 match. We are at $35,000 out of a $150,000 goal for tonight. That's amazing. Thank you so much for giving. I want to kick it now to one of our current students who is absolutely wonderful, and I love doing this interview. I've known this young lady for many years. Back when I did student ministry here at Happy Hill Farm, before I got into fundraising, she was with me in middle school in our middle school youth group, and so I'm excited to share this interview with her with you. Hi, I'm here with Lindsay, and I just wanted to give you an opportunity during this telethon to hear from some of our students. Lindsay's been at the farm for, we said 8 years? Yes, sir. 8 years, and so she's got a great kind of summary of what it's been like for her at the farm, and you can kind of get a in-depth look at what it's like here at Happy Hill Farm. So Lindsay, tell me some about like what your experience has been like over the last couple of years. What are you involved in and what's going on in your life?
I do lots of sports. I've played volleyball and basketball. I also do horsemanship, which is one of my favorite things here. I like being surrounded by my friends. We all like lean on each other when we need and encourage each other.
Awesome. So like I said, Lindsay's been here 8 years. So when I think back to like my youth ministry days here at Happy Hill Farm, before I did any of this stuff, back when my grandfather was still around and I was, you know, basically the pastor around here, I think of Lindsay as like, oh my goodness, this is a kid in elementary school and now a junior in high school. And so it's just awesome to see her grow up, to mature, to turn into this sweet lady that you see now. And we're excited about her future. So tell us a little bit, like, do you want to go to college? Kind of what do you see as your future?
I do want to go to college. I'm not sure where yet. I think maybe something in editing or writing, but it's not a set plan.
Awesome. So any kind of like journalism yearbook, what have you done in that?
I'm in a creative writing class this year, and my teacher is really great. She's taught me a lot of things.
Do you like fiction or nonfiction?
Fiction.
Cool. So do you write fiction? That's awesome. What kind of like style is it?
It has a little bit of mythology in it, but otherwise I just go with what I'm feeling.
That's neat. That's cool. I guess what would be really cool is, because the donors that are watching this hear me talk a lot about Happy Hill Farm, obviously, but I think it'd be neat for them to hear. They just heard about all the different types of things we offer. So you talked about how you liked horsemanship and creative writing and those sort of pursuits. But if you could like summarize, it's going to be hard to do, but like 8 years of just what's the feel and the vibe that you've experienced at Happy Hill Farm, and why is it different and special? What do you think?
If you ever have questions, like just email somebody and they'll be like, oh, I got you.
That's cool.
Yeah. The RPs, they really go out of their way to make you feel like you're at home and to make you comfortable.
So for those of you who may not know, RP stands for resident parents. So these are the house parents at Happy Hill Farm, the couple and the single that's the same gender of the kids in the house that really care for our students here. Their job really is to be resident parents. So that's who Lindsay was just talking about. So I just wanted to give you guys a little look into, the life of a student here at Happy Hill Farm. And I told Lindsay we're excited as we get into our senior year. We tend to feature and talk a lot about those seniors at Happy Hill Farm who've been here a long time. So I said, this is a great opportunity to get ready for this. We're going to do more videos and put you in a newsletter so you can share your story and talk to donors. But let's take this last little bit and just thank, because most of the people who are watching this are current donors. Mm-hmm. And so just take a few seconds to just kind of thank them for this experience, because I think that'd be meaningful, because I hear it from me a lot. You guys hear it from me, but I think it would be meaningful to hear it from someone who's actually in the program and has benefited from Happy Hill Farm. So yeah, do that.
Do I look at the camera?
Yeah, that one right there. Yep.
This one?
Yep.
Wait, the one with the red on it, right?
Right there, yeah.
Thank you so much for your generosity. It's really helped build a future for students. I myself am benefiting from you helping us out, and I can't express how thankful I am for that. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Lindsay. No, you're good. Thank you. Glad to have you on.
Thank you.
Thank you for your continuing gifts to Happy Hill Farm. I just want to take this opportunity to remind you that I'm here every day, along with my father Chuck, my uncle Todd, and my brother Lucas. We're continuing my grandfather's mission and serving the kids that he loves so well. This is and always will be a family ministry. Thank you for watching and sharing this event and raising awareness for what we do and what you do for the children at Happy Hill Farm.
A lot of people ask me, you've been around for 45 years. That's how long Happy Hill Farm has been helping kids. What kinds of kids do you help? And there's a reality to the dynamics of the students that we help on campus have changed. We have different groups, different crews that stay with us and get educated and trained here. First, we have our residential boarding students. So these are kids from the United States that stay and live here and go to school at Happy Hill Farm. Then we have our international boarding students. So these are kids from around the world that come in to Happy Hill Farm to get educated and trained. And then lastly, we have our day student population. These are boys and girls from the community that come in and do the extracurriculars and have a regular school day, 8 to 3, and are students at Happy Hill Farm. And what that creates is just a beautiful kind of diversity. If you walk onto our campus in 2021, you see something that looks like a college campus. You see kids from all over, all kinds of backgrounds, interacting with each other, and you're going to hear from some current students in a little bit, and they're going to talk about how the residences really are a family atmosphere, that they count each other as brothers and sisters. I'm excited to share with you now videos from two different recent alumni, Panache and Corday. Panache and I had a great conversation a little while back, and it was wonderful. So I hope it encourages you like it encouraged me. So here's Panache and I.
Hi, everybody. I'm excited to have Panache here live on the telethon today. I'm excited, first of all, just to see him. It's been a while since we've been in person together, alumni and staff for, Corona, but that's the way it is. But I'm just super proud of him. We all are at Happy Hill Farm. I remember Panache coming to the farm as a young kid, and I remember being his pastor in youth group and watching him grow up. And we're very proud of where he is now and what he's accomplishing. And so I just wanted him to speak to you about his experience at Happy Hill Farm, so you can hear about that during this telethon. So Panache, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, Lucas. Thank you for having me, and thank you all for listening in and being a part of this. Like Lucas said, my name is Panache Siachitema. I'm originally from Zimbabwe. And a little bit about how I got to the farm. I got to the farm around 2009 and was introduced by a family friend of ours, and we came out and toured. And this opportunity to come out to the farm was really a blessing for me and my family, because the very person that gave us a tour was Lucas' grandfather, Mr. Ed Shipman. And he gave us such an incredible tour and backstory of the farm and the school. And from that day on, I was sold. I was ready to come on board at North Central Texas Academy. And just everybody at the school and on the farm have been such a blessing to me and my family. I've shared a lot of memories with Lucas Shipman. He's been my youth pastor, friend, and just a person that I can always come to for help on life and my faith. And I just really want to take this time to thank all the donors. Without you all, the opportunities and the blessings that I have been able to enjoy and partake in, whether it's school, sports, have all made me the person who I am today, the leader that I am today, the individual that I am today. And each year I always reflect on my time at the farm and my time at North Central Texas Academy. And I'm always blessed by the immense blessings and just care from the donors that want to see students like me be able to have an education, have a place where they can grow spiritually, in sports, in school, whatever it may be. The school at North Central Texas Academy was able to do for me. And currently, prior to this, I was at North Central Texas Academy at Happy Hill Farm for about 8 years, and I graduated there in 2018. And now I'm at Texas Tech University. I'm currently studying architecture and design with a minor in business. And I'm a junior currently right now. And I actually shared a conversation not too long ago with Lucas, and we just look back at the 3 years, and it's just really amazing. In my next year and a half, 2 years, I plan to earn a master's degree in architecture, and currently I'm working on internship at HKS Inc. and just working on opportunities back home in Zimbabwe to showcase my skill set and my abilities back home in developing the greater Africa. And so thank you so much for all you donors out there, and please be safe, and thank you for having me.
So Panache, I remember last time we chatted on the phone, you are president of an organization at Texas Tech. Tell me a little bit about that.
Definitely. I am actually president of National Organization of Minority Architect Students at Texas Tech College of Architecture. And basically the organization is a organization within the College of Architecture, and it's primarily focuses in on a minority group within the field of architecture and design that is underrepresented. And so our focus as an organization is to be able to bridge that gap and to be able to highlight individuals, architects, designers, artists, writers, whoever may be, that have produced and added their own insight and voice to the world of design. Through that, we do many projects, some of which have been held back due to COVID. And one of the projects we were envisioning for this year was to be able to connect with the Lubbock community, more towards the minority groups within Lubbock. And some of the projects we wanted to do with the community is to be able to connect with high school students, middle school students on activities pertaining to design, whether it's little design charrettes of model making or lectures, or just being able to bring the College of Architecture into those communities to give those students and those kids an opportunity to see how they could add their creativity into something that can impact the greater whole of our society.
That's awesome. And so those of you who are donors to Happy Hill Farm, Panache is a prime example of, so when we say we're building up champions that impact other people's lives, just think about that. I mean, Panache is still just in college, but is involved in a program that has outreach into his, far from where the farm is at in Lubbock, but impacts kids in his local area. And so that's one of the things that we highlight and we always talk about is the trajectory of a child's life impacts hundreds of other individuals. It's a complete shift in a family tree for some kids. And so we just want you to know what you do and what your dollars go towards, straight to the kids. And Panache, the point of this telethon is obviously inform people and thank people. And then the third piece is we're raising money. So we've actually already secured a $150,000 challenge match. So that's a pot of money that is unlocked as we today raise $150,000. So I thank you for being a part of this. You're not only helping folks in your community that you're in now and your family that you will probably have in the future, but also you're helping the students that are still at Happy Hill Farm see their full potential. And so I just want to thank you, donors, and thank Panache. And so, man, thank you so much for sharing this with us and giving us this time today. And you know that we're praying for you and we're there for you, from me to all the people who are watching this now, and we're very proud of you.
Thank you so much.
My name is Korede Hamidou, and I came to Happy Hill Farm January 2014. I live in Lagos, Nigeria. My dad is an artist, and my mom does whatever she can to just help us at home while my dad is working. I came from a very poor family. They had 6 kids to take care of, and I had to leave them and go live with another family. And I wasn't treated with love and kindness, and it was a struggle just being there. And most of the time, I just want to leave. And I think that was my biggest struggle back home. There's a limited opportunity for people to go to school. If you don't have the money, you probably don't go to school. I started playing basketball in 2012, and that was when I realized I could come to America to have a better education while playing basketball. Coming to America alone, I think it was very scary for me, and just thinking about leaving all the things I've known behind and coming to a foreign land. When I first came in Happy Hill Farm, what I found very surprising is the people. They embraced me, especially when I'm in the class. It's like, oh, these people are so intentional. They're very intentional about my learning, and even when I don't know something, they are so willing to sit back with me and teach me all the things that I don't know, or the things that I hadn't had the opportunity to learn. Class, resident, and sport was taught the same way. The message was consistent, and it was us loving Jesus, everybody who was on the farm, and just being a better person when they get out of here. I graduated from Happy Hill Farm 2016. I had a full scholarship to play basketball in Southwestern Assemblies of God University. I will be graduating in December 2020 with business management degree. After graduation, I plan on enlisting into the military so I can actually serve and give back to the country that have done so much for me. My story is one of many stories of the lives that has been changed on the farm. I came from a rough situation in Nigeria. Because of Happy Hill Farm, I'm loved, I heard the gospel, and I'm encouraged. Now my future is so bright.
Thank you so much, those of you who've given to the Telethon and virtual fundraiser. Thank you, Sherry, Chad, Charles, Michael, Carrie, Panache, Sylvia, Cheryl, Brent, Dorothy, Sylvia, Debbie, and Linda. We are so very grateful that you've chosen to sponsor the kids and partner with us in the Lord's work at Happy Hill Farm. So just to clarify, we are giving away one foursome at the upcoming Happy Hill Farm Classic Golf Tournament and one dinner for two at Texas Day Brazil. This is how you can enter. I misspoke in the last segment. You can enter by submitting your name, address, and phone number to info@happyhillfarm.org. That's how you can enter the raffle. Enter your name, address, and phone number. Email it to info@happyhillfarm.org. Remember, you can give right now to the kids at Happy Hill Farm using the link happyhillfarm.org/give. happyhillfarm.org/give. Or you can call to pledge at 469-573-0234. And I want to thank again our stream sponsor, FlowServe. They have been so good to us for so long. They sponsor the Dallas Cowboys Kickoff Luncheon as our main sponsor, and they have given to make this stream possible. It takes a lot of technology to be able to broadcast live for 3 hours and share these stories of changed lives and kids that have been built up in the faith. It takes a lot of work and time and money to do that. So thank you, FlowServe, for making that possible. We're going to go into a video here. Actually, we're going to share a progress bar first. We're going to look at how close we are to our $150,000 match. We are at $37,500. We are that far into our $150,000 match. Thank you so much for giving and supporting the kids at Happy Hill Farm. And remember, if you're watching this, every penny is doubled up to $150,000 tonight. We're going to kick it over to a video, and I'll be back live in a minute. Happy Hill Farm has been around for over 40 years. Do you know what we do and who we help? Hear it from us, the kids and alumni. Here are 5 myths you may have heard about Happy Hill Farm.
Myth: Happy Hill Farm is heavily supported by corporations and sports organizations. No sports organization, corporation, or denominational body provides a large portion of our yearly budget. My needs are primarily met by caring individuals like you.
Myth: Is Happy Hill Farm a military school or a mental health care facility? The kids at Happy Hill Farm have 2 things in common. They have lots of potential, but not a lot of opportunity. Happy Hill Farm gives them opportunity. A good education, caring adults, a spiritual foundation, counseling, and a diverse environment. It's not like a military school or a mental health care facility.
It's a home where kids become compassionate leaders who pay it forward.
Myth!
Is Happy Hill Farm a boarding school for wealthy kids? That's not true.
80% of our international students are from difficult parts of the world. 90% of our boarding students are from low-income households.
Myth.
Day school tuition supports the program. Why do we need to raise money if some kids pay?
Because Happy Hill Farm wants to bless and minister to the local community, day school tuition is set to only cover those students' expenses.
Yeah, I've heard that myth too, that this place has changed. I was here at the farm from 1989 to 1994, and it was an amazing experience. For a kid like me with low opportunity but high potential, it's a really special place. If you want to see a place that's changing lives, take it from me. My life was changed, and it's still changing lives today. So come see Happy Hill Farm. Come have lunch with the kids. Call Lucas and ask for a tour. Come see what's happening here. I invite you personally to come see Happy Hill Farm.
That's a super helpful video to kind of wrap your mind around how we've changed over the last 45 years. I've said before in this broadcast, a lot of people know of us, but not a whole lot about us. And so that's a great video to hear directly from the kids. I think we made that last year to hear about who we help and how we're funded and how everything works at Happy Hill Farm. And as a reminder, 90% of our budget is raised from individuals like you. From individual donors like you who watch things like this, who come to the golf tournament or our Top Golf tournament or the Dallas Cowboys kickoff luncheon and see what God does out here at Happy Hill Farm and join in the mission. And so I just want to thank you. Thank you for being a part of that. And I want to introduce, a lot has changed on the farm. One of the things that hasn't changed is how important the farm aspect is in the lives of kids. And when I was a kid, we had a farm dog that ran around campus who actually belonged to the ag director. So for those of you who are my age, who are graduates in the mid-2000s, you'll remember the farm dog that we had, and he was awesome and would show up to the football games, and anytime we were doing a cookout or a birthday party at the big oak tree in the circle, he would be there. And so a couple of years ago, I decided, you know what? The kids at the farm need another farm dog, another mascot dog. So I went to the SPCA, and we rescued a little dog who is now a giant, but he was a little dog at the time, and his name is Duke, and we're going to see a video of him right now. "20 years ago, we had a farm dog that the kids loved. He hung around the houses, went to all the events, and sort of became our mascot. A few months ago, I realized we needed another farm dog. I'm here today at the SPCA, looking forward to meeting Duke and taking him out to his new home with the kids at the farm. Duke is a rescue from the SPCA. Part Border Collie, part Hound, and all spunk. Here at Happy Hill Farm, we serve kids that have so much potential, but lack basic opportunities. 85% are on scholarship. And our model is simple. We create a fantastic boarding school environment without state or federal tax money, and we give it away to deserving kids. And Duke is a part of that now. He's been great for our campus.
When there's sad days happening around, he makes those days happy and playful.
Duke makes me feel like I'm at home. I think Duke is the best dog in the world.
I love the way that Duke brings joy to the farm.
I really love Duke. He makes me so happy.
The fact is, dogs heal kids. Having Duke in the houses with our boarding students has added so much to our program that's been going now for 43 years. Consider partnering with us and connecting more rescue dogs to deserving kids. Visit happyhillfarm.org/Duke to learn more about our Dogs Heal Kids program. So now that you've heard about how the farm operates right now in 2021, I would like to take you on a personal tour of some of our facilities here on the campus of Happy Hill Farm. Now, if you've ever been on a tour with me, you know one of the big things that we do them from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. so that we can be in the dining center and eat lunch with the kids. But we go into different facilities and see inside them so you can really wrap your head around what a day in the life of a student at Happy Hill Farm is like. Now, I'm really excited to be able to present this to you, sort of a virtual tour of Happy Hill Farm. So enjoy this next set of tour videos. Hi, we're here today in our dining center. Some of our students are in here eating right now, and you can see the state-of-the-art kitchen behind me. And this is a common gathering place. This is one of our most important buildings on the farm. This has been here for 30 some odd years. Every day the kids are bussed up here from the school to eat lunch. Every evening they're in here with their houses. They sit as a family with their residences. And so this is one of the hearts of our campus, this dining center. And we've got some wonderful ladies who've been working here for many years. If you've ever had any of our delicious cookies, this is where they're made with the kids. And Miss Sylvia, who's been here for over 40 years, dedicated her life to the kids at Happy Hill Farm and is a wonderful baker if you've ever had any of those cookies. So we just wanted to show you this space, this building, see some of the kids. And I thank you for supporting Happy Hill Farm and making these things possible. I'm here in our Fine Arts building at Happy Hill Farm. This is where our students come every Wednesday morning for chapel services. This is where we have speakers come and talk to the kids about life and living and business and all the things that they need to learn to be productive citizens. We're actually tomorrow going to lower the screen, have the students in here, and have a Zoom meeting with a young lady who's a fellow at the Heritage Foundation. And she's an amazing lady with a great life story and a really motivational and inspiring message that she has for the kids. So I'm excited for that tomorrow. That's the kind of stuff that happens in this building. This has been here since the mid-'80s. During Wednesday morning chapel services at the school, we have a youth band. So we actually have our students learn how to play the drums and play bass and lead worship and play acoustic guitar. And so this is a really important spot here at Happy Hill Farm. I'm glad you got to see it with me. Hi, I'm at the gym here at Happy Hill Farm and just wanted to talk about this building and what it means to these kids. You can see we're in the middle of basketball practice right now. And if you think about maybe in your life, athletics were a big part of your experience as a kid, maybe even made it possible for you to go to college or other careers. I think it's so important to note how important athletics is here at Happy Hill Farm. And the kind of kids that we help, I mean, they have so much potential, but are coming out of such low opportunity situations. And one of the opportunities here is to play sports at a really high level. We've had Division I basketball players and high division volleyball players come out of the school, and part of it is because obviously they're talented kids, but this environment, I think, is just incredible in shaping the whole athlete. If you get what I'm saying, the residences, the educational program, the brotherhood, the sisterhood that they have here at Happy Hill Farm really forms and bonds the kind of person they're going to be. And that's so important in team sports like this, to be able to be productive, to get along, to kind of see the big picture. And this facility is just so important to so many of our kids. And you've made it possible. So I just want to thank you for your donations, for your continuing support of the athletic program. And in our founder's book that you've gotten, you can see a specific support that we need for our athletic programs. It's not inexpensive to do this. When you think about travel and all the things that come into play with the kind of sports that we play and the high level that we compete at. And so I thank you for supporting this program. Know that these kids, these boys that are in here right now, are being shaped and formed and molded into productive citizens through the opportunities that happen in this building. So I'm grateful for your partnership. I'm grateful for your gifts and your prayers for these boys and the girls that are going to practice in here later. And I thank you for your gifts to Happy Hill Farm. For those of you who have never been, or for those of you maybe it's been years since you've been out here, I'm going to take us inside the school and talk a little about it. So come with me. This school was built in 2008 on the ground of the old school that I went to and my sister did many years ago. And it's a beautiful, massive facility. So we can help about 200 kids every day, which is our capacity here at Happy Hill Farm. That's 100 from the community coming in to our school as a day school, and then the 100 who board here year-round. And so this is just our entryway, our hallway into the school. Our elementary, middle, and high school wings are all in this facility, with the library right there in the middle of our school. And so this is just a little taste, a little preview of what the school at Happy Hill Farm looks like. I would love to have you out. If you've never been to our campus, or maybe you've never even seen this school because it's been so many years since you've been out, I would love to have you, give you a personal tour, have you meet my sister, the Dean of Faculty, who offices out of the school, have you meet some kids, see some teachers, and kind of see the process of what we do here at Happy Hill Farm. Most of the classrooms are small. They are 8 to 10 kids, and so that's one of the unique things that we do is we have a really small learning environment. So whatever kind of background a student comes from, they can find the right learning style with really close one-on-one help from their teacher here at Happy Hill Farm. So this is the school. I'm glad you're here for the telethon, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the broadcast.
Hi, my name is Amanda Schwausch. I am the Dean of Faculty at North Central Texas Academy at Happy Hill Farm. I serve over the boarding program and the academy, and I'm a bridge between the two programs. I also work very closely with the students from the admissions process all the way through graduation. I just want to take the opportunity to thank you for your donations and your prayers for our students. You may not be able to visit the farm on a monthly basis, but I'm here every day. And I can tell you that you're changing the lives of our students. They're learning and growing and will become productive leaders for tomorrow.
I hope you enjoyed that sort of behind the scenes into some of our facilities here at Happy Hill Farm. We haven't had as many tours on campus as we would like, especially in 2020 and all that came with it. But consider this an open invitation. Anytime this summer or fall, we would love to host you, your Bible study, your church group, your home group, any kind of organization that you're a part of or Rotary Club. We'd love to have you out to Happy Hill Farm so that you can see the work that's done in kids' lives. I want to talk for a minute about the spiritual component here at Happy Hill Farm. To say it's a component really is an understatement, because the gospel is the foundation of what we do here at Happy Hill Farm. I would say 70 to 80% of the students who come here have never heard the gospel. So they've never heard what the Lord Jesus has done to ransom for himself a people, to save them and bring them back to the Father. So many students show up never hearing that God loves you, that he's created you, that he cares for you, that he has a specific plan in mind for your life. As I prayed earlier, we pray over the students here at Happy Hill Farm that the Lord would grab them, would speak to them, that they would hear when they're in Bible study, when they're in Bible class, when they're in Sunday morning chapel, and that he would make their paths straight, that he would lead them in the good life. That's what we pray for all the kids here at Happy Hill Farm. And we're going to go to a video now where I am in our prayer garden, which is a really special place here on our campus. It's relatively new as well. Within the last decade, donor support made it possible. And when I was making this video just a couple days ago, man, as I walked through and saw the names, the memorial plaques, as I saw the Bible verses, as I saw the poetry, it really struck me that this is a really special place on our campus where kids can come in silence and solitude and talk to the Lord and sit in the quiet of nature and really reflect on what's happening, what's being done in their life, how is God working on them and using them. And so it's a really special place here at Happy Hill Farm. Enjoy this video. This prayer garden at Happy Hill Farm is a very special place. Throughout, there are plaques with scripture, with names of those that we've lost that have loved the kids and have given to the mission at Happy Hill Farm for years. And also there's poetry too. It's just a beautiful place for kids to be able to get some silence and some solitude, for our students and our staff to be able to enjoy this beautiful piece of land that God gave us so many years ago to help transform the lives of kids. Now, you know, if you are a friend of Happy Hill Farm, a donor to Happy Hill Farm, how important the spiritual part of this ministry is. We care about the whole child, mind, body, and soul. And there's something special, there's something unique about being able to be in nature in a place like this that's absolutely gorgeous. All the trees are going to bloom here in the spring in just a few weeks. And to be able to sit and to be able to pray and meditate on what is God doing in their young lives. What is He calling them to be? What is He calling them to do? And so we're grateful for donors like you who make spaces like this possible for the kids at Happy Hill Farm, so many of which come out of inner city living conditions, and they come to this 500-acre farm with open spaces, with pasture, and with beautiful gardens like this. I thank you for making places like this possible, and know that this is an open invitation to you. Email me, call me if you have my number. We'd love to have you out on our campus so that you can walk these paths, so that you can sit and pray and think about your life in the same places that our wonderful kids have for the last 15 years that we've had this beautiful garden. As I watched that video, I remember a specific story that I just feel led to share with you right now. We were making a video about 3 years ago for the Cowboys kickoff luncheon, and we asked one of the young ladies that we were interviewing. As you can see on this telethon, we talk to the kids all the time and capture their experiences so we can share them with you, the people who make those experiences possible. But we were videoing this young lady, and we asked her about her time at Happy Hill Farm, and I think the question was, what was the most memorable experience? And I was absolutely floored because it had been 3 or 4 years previous to this time we were interviewing her. She rattled off the date of her baptism here at the farm when I baptized her, and said, well, probably the most important thing that's happened to me is what I would consider like my spiritual birthday, when I gave my life to the Lord and when Lucas baptized me. And I couldn't believe that she remembered the exact date to that. And that's just a reminder. It's a reminder to me and a reminder to you of the eternal impact that Happy Hill Farm has in the lives of kids. I absolutely love that kid, and I'm still in contact and still talk about the Lord and churches she's involved in and send her books and all sorts of things like that. But what a powerful moment to know that that was one of the best experiences of her time here at Happy Hill Farm. I want to remind you also to give to this telethon. Every dollar up to $150,000 is doubled tonight because of a few generous donors who gave us a $150,000 matching gift. You can give at happyhillfarm.org/give. Or you can call to pledge your gift at 469-573-0234. Please continue to like and share and comment. I have, in between segments, been looking at your conversation, Jennifer, and I've been laughing about some of those memories and thinking through, the stories about the cookies. Everybody loves Sylvia's cookies. We actually just got some. She delivered some to us for lunch today, and my goodness, they are still absolutely delicious. One of the best parts of Happy Hill Farm. Let's get a progress report. Let's see where we're at in our goal of $150,000. We are at $40,000. That's awesome. Thank you so much for your contributions to the kids at Happy Hill Farm. This is an exciting telethon. I am excited to be here with you and giving to the kids at Happy Hill Farm. Thank you so much for those of you who've stepped up and contributed. Now, I want to talk about a quick naming opportunity. We have a lot of buildings on our campus, and when you drive around, you see all of the names of the wonderful people that made these experiences possible. We're in the Ebby Halliday Library. You see the names of the Brownings and the Bernards in the school. You drive around and see all the folks who made Happy Hill Farm possible. But we have one facility that we're about to show a video of that I was in just last week, and it's in a state of disrepair, and it would be a massive blessing to the kids at Happy Hill Farm if you made a gift during this telethon to repair this building. So enjoy that video and hear about that opportunity at our greenhouse, and then enjoy some other tour videos as we go behind the scenes at Happy Hill Farm. I'm here at the greenhouse at Happy Hill Farm. It was built in the late 90s and saw a ton of use in the early 2000s and mid 2000s, but has since fallen in quite the state of disrepair. You can see the back panels missing and the roof panels that have been taken away by wind and weather, and this entire greenhouse needs to be reskinned. Now, we have a great foundation, and the bones of the structure are in great shape. We just simply need to reskin it. This is a wonderful naming opportunity for you, your family, someone you know, to considerably help the kids here at Happy Hill Farm. When this was up and fully operating, we were producing an enormous amount of food, of vegetables in here. And we can do that again. We can start to produce all our own ground covering. So you think about all the landscaping here at Happy Hill Farm and the cost savings that would produce if we could grow it all in here in this greenhouse. So I just wanted to show you this and throw this out there. In our 2021 Founders Guide, our Founders Report, you can see this as a gift that could be named after you or your family. So I wanted you to see it here in person and get an idea of this opportunity to reskin the greenhouse at Happy Hill Farm. Hi, we're here in the barn today with some of the show goats that our kids at Happy Hill Farm take to shows all over the state of Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana. I don't know where they go. They go all over. And these animals are great companions for them. They teach the kids responsibility. And a ton of our students have come out of Happy Hill Farm with rather large scholarships, partial or maybe full scholarships, to great universities in the state of Texas for animal husbandry. We've got kids from everything from a zookeeper at the San Diego Zoo to working on farms and ranches all over our great nation. So this is one of the things we like to highlight about Happy Hill Farm that makes us different. You know, Happy Hill Farm, we are a fully functioning farm. And you saw the poultry center a few moments ago, and a lot of people don't realize this. We produce all our own eggs now. We've produced all our own beef here at Happy Hill Farm that the kids and staff consume for years. And so this is a fully working farm that the kids can participate in if they want to. About 60% of our students at some point participate in FFA and 4-H. It's by no means a requirement, but it's a great way for them to get involved, for them to have scholarship opportunity, and then just to become better people, more responsible, caring for something else other than themselves, and it just creates well-rounded kids. And so if you've ever been on a farm or ever around animals, you know the power of a kid, of a child connecting with an animal. And that's the kind of thing that happens here at Happy Hill Farm just about every day. So we thank you for your support for programs like this. I'm here in our chapel at Happy Hill Farm, and anytime I come into this building, it evokes so many memories. For those of you who knew my grandfather, Ed, you knew a passionate and gifted preacher of the gospel. And so when we think about, kind of our legacy that we have at Happy Hill Farm, this is at the very heart of it. The number of years that he spent preaching to generation after generation of kids here at Happy Hill Farm in this room. And then the number of years I had the opportunity to preach from the same pulpit to kids here at Happy Hill Farm. It's just, this is a powerful place, a special place on our campus. About 80% of the kids who come to Happy Hill Farm have never heard the gospel. So when you think about your background, if you were raised in a Christian family, they never experienced any of that, nothing. So the concept of God's love, of Jesus' redemption, of the beauty and the power of our God, those are things so foreign to most of the kids who come to us. And you know, because you're a friend and supporter of ours, that our mission really is to share God's transforming love with our students. And so this space really is all about that. Every Sunday morning, the kids come in here and they get to hear the gospel. They get to hear of God's plan of redemption for his people. And to say that it's life transforming really doesn't do justice to the gospel message, does it? It's generationally transforming. So many students come here broken and wounded and lost and in such desperate need of immediate help, right? So food, shelter, education. But so many of them also come in desperate need of spiritual help. They need new life. And so when they come here and they hear the gospel for the first time, God saves. And we baptize and we disciple. And I think back at the number of kids that are still in my life years and years later that I got to preach to and disciple and care for, that still come to us with questions, that still seek our advice and share sermons from their pastor to me where they're at church right now. And we have debates and conversations about theology and all of these things. It's just beautiful. And I want you to know that you make these kinds of moments possible. That this is a special place, a unique place. My grandfather called it a hallowed place. And I think when I was a young man, I probably missed the gravity of that statement. But God does wonderful, mighty work here at Happy Hill Farm. And as we look towards our 50th year of ministry, the work continues. The kids are still coming. The wait list is still full. The number of students that come broken and hurting and in need of newness of life and to hear the gospel is just like it was in 1975. So I thank you for your continued help. I'm glad to share this moment with you in this special building. And I just want to thank you for tuning in to this broadcast, watching, hearing about what we do at Happy Hill Farm, sharing our story with others so that they can partner with us in this gospel mission. Thank you. I want to take a minute again to talk about this master plan that you've heard about. About 20 years into the founding of Happy Hill Farm, my grandparents and then my parents and aunt and uncle sat down and decided on what it would look like for the campus to be quote unquote complete. What would it look like for us to help the maximum amount of kids in the program that we believe God has given us to run? And we are very close to completing that vision. I talked at the beginning of this broadcast to be ready for your founder's book that's coming in the mail next week. And what you're going to see in there is a page in our campaign is Building Tomorrow's Champions, which is what we do here at Happy Hill Farm. And it's the completion of the campus. And there's two big factors that go into that. And the first one is that cafetorium space that we've talked about we've needed for a long time that prevents us having to run buses and have multiple lunch periods. We can build a cafetorium right here attached to this beautiful school so the kids can get the maximum amount of time in the classroom, and we can save tens of thousands of dollars on bus maintenance and repairs. And the second one is the building of 3 more residences. Now, this gives us the ability to help even more kids come to Happy Hill Farm. We talked about the future soccer program. We talked about the potential to help students of missionary families and all that that means as far as the new components of helping kids at Happy Hill Farm. We need space for those kids. So I invite you to consider what the Lord may have you give tonight, what he might have for you as you think about your estate, about bequests, about your legacy of your family, and all that you've done working so hard, saving and investing, what that would look like to bless multiple generations of kids at Happy Hill Farm. You know, we're 45 years in, so I'm looking at some of these comments on Facebook. These are multiple generations of people who have been helped and transformed by the work at Happy Hill Farm. I also want to take this opportunity again to thank FlowServe as the sponsor of this telethon and this live stream. They have made it possible for us to be able to produce this and to put it online so that you can partner with us in the Lord's work to raise up a new generation of champions at Happy Hill Farm. You can give at happyhillfarm.org/give. happyhillfarm.org/give. Or you can call to pledge at 469-573-0234. And I want to remind you again about this raffle that we have. To enter into the raffle, submit your name, address, and phone number. Email it to info@happyhillfarm.org, and you'll be entered into a raffle to win one foursome at our tournament coming up in April and a dinner for 2 at Texas de Brazil. We're excited to be able to offer that to you and to just thank you. It's just a simple thank you for all that you've done, for your prayers and your gifts to the kids at Happy Hill Farm. I'm excited about this next segment because you're going to hear from a very special student we have here currently named Paul. I enjoyed this interview with him, and I know it will bless you as it blessed me. Let's hear from Paul. Hi, everyone. I just wanted to give you an opportunity to hear from Paul, another one of our students here at Happy Hill Farms. You could hear about his experience and just see another face of a student that you are helping right now. So, Paul, how long have you been at Happy Hill Farm?
3 years.
3 years. And when we were walking in here, this dude's getting tall. I was like, man, you're going to be taller than me pretty soon. How old are you?
I'm 13.
13. So tell me about, because one of the things I know about you is that you are involved in the horsemanship program. So just give me a brief overview. How'd you get into that? What do you like about it? And just tell us a little bit about the horsemanship program.
So when I first came here, I didn't know what to do for after-school activities. And then I saw that there was horsemanship, but I've never done it before. Mm-hmm. So I decided I was going to enroll in it. And when I went there for the first time, there were horses, and I was a little scared because they were really big. Yeah, and then after a couple weeks, I kind of warmed up to them. Yeah. This guy is a good rider, and Mr. Loftus,
does a great job with the equestrian part of our program. We've got after-school stuff, pre-COVID, we got regular hour school stuff. And so our students here at Happy Hill Farm, really, like Paul said, it's imposing to be around an animal like that, but for those of you who ever have bonded with a horse, you know the power of that connection between you and the horse. The people who are watching this are primarily our donors. And so this is a neat opportunity for them to hear from you, because we're not having a ton of tours right now over the last year. And so, man, just maybe summarize, like, what are some of your favorite things about Happy Hill Farm?
My favorite things are the food, the gym, and also the library.
Awesome. What do you like about the gym? Let's start there.
The gym is there's a lot of things to do. You can shoot hoops with other people, or you can run around the top, or you can just talk to people and socialize.
So, in this whole library, how many books do you think you've read since you've been here?
20 to 30 books.
Nice. That's awesome, man. In school, what are some of the things you like about school, like subject-wise?
I like reading, science, and English.
What's the most unique thing that you can think of about the farm that you wouldn't have an opportunity to do or access to if you were home? So what's the thing that you're kind of the most grateful for? What is that?
Well, first, the thing I'm most grateful for is having, brothers, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at home I have 3 sisters, but they don't they're not brothers.
Yeah.
There's a special bond between brothers that you don't have with sisters. So that's something I can have here.
How many boys are in your house? You're in 10, right?
There are 6 boys.
Yeah, and how long have y'all been a residence pretty well together for a while? So you've had some that you've had for 3 years, right? That's awesome. Being in a residence at Happy Hill Farm and having those guys who are like brothers in the house with you, what's it like?
Sometimes we can sometimes we argue a little bit, but usually it's just little stuff. But whenever we're not doing that, it's usually just mostly having fun with each other. And whenever we're not doing that, we're either being competitive outside or inside.
What do y'all like being competitive about outside?
Outside, we play Foursquare, we play basketball, we play lots of things.
That's awesome. What about inside? Do y'all play video games?
Yeah.
Is that crazy and competitive?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. When I share with the donors who have a heart for supporting the equestrian program, I talk about, the bond that our students have with the animals and how that's impacted their life. So because you have an opportunity right now to talk to the donors about how that part of the program has really helped you. So do that. What is the horse program really meant for you?
So what it's done to help me?
Yeah.
It made me more responsible, keeping track of things and taking care of things too. And so whenever I do my homework and I finish early, or I have notes to read before a test, I would need to keep track of it. And so I put it in a notebook. And whenever I'm in horsemanship, whenever I need to keep track of something, if I forget, the horse will remind me. It'll kind of punish me because I forgot to do something.
That's cool. So like a living notebook.
Yeah.
A very large notebook. What other lessons have you learned being around horses?
I've learned to not walk behind one, because that's an easy way to get kicked. I've also learned to respect it. Whenever the horse does something good, congratulate it, rub the horse's neck, and that's a way of saying good job for what you did.
When we think about all the different animals we have on the farm, we have a lot. We have 4-H and ag, and so what is it specifically about the horses that kind of draw you in, and you've kind of chosen that as the thing that you're going to do here at Happy Hill Farm? What is it about the horses?
So it's like kind of like the bond between us. Like me and the horse are like friends. So whenever I'm down, the horse lifts me up. Whenever the horse is doing something wrong, I help the horse. Yeah.
That's awesome. When you think about your future, what are your plans? I mean, what are you thinking in high school or college or after high school? What do you want to do? What are you dreaming about?
So one thing I've been thinking about for a long time is becoming a lawyer, because I'm like, I really like to debate with things. So whenever I think of being a lawyer, I'm like, oh, this is like kind of like a job, but instead of just debating just to get mad at it or something, I can use it to help people.
That's really cool too. You should do that. We'll help you do that. I am grateful to hear about like your experience with the equestrian program, and I love to hear about that connection that you have with the horse. And those of you who've been involved with animals or grew up on a farm even, man, you know the power of learning responsibility, of like Paul said, you know, when I'm down or having a bad day, getting to be around an animal who, you know, has an emotional connection with me helps. It just helps us get through life. And so I just want to thank those of you who are watching this who support our equestrian program specifically. You know, in our founder's book, and then even at Christmas when we do our Christmas catalog, we let people give money specifically to the equestrian program. We asked for that because it's an expensive program. And many of you, I can think of you, I know you, you do that, and you provide feed, and you help us pay for the instructor and all that goes into that program, and the beautiful building that we have here on the farm. You help pay for that. And it's not that old. We just finished that a few years ago. And so I just want to thank you, because I never want to divorce the programs that we have here from the students that you help. So when you think about the equestrian program, I obviously want you to think about horses and horse therapy and horsemanship, but I also want you to think about Paul, because Paul is someone who's directly benefited from your help to this program. And you know, we have lots of kids here coming from all kind of different backgrounds, and we want to be able to offer whatever it is that these students are interested in, so they can find their thing, because it's a powerful thing to watch a student realize, man, I'm good at this. Like I've heard from Mr. Loftus, and I'm not just saying this because we're on this. I've heard from him that, Paul, you're good at this. You're good at horsemanship. And he enjoys having you in that program. And when I ask him, you know, hey, I want to get a picture of some students on horses, he brings up you. And he says, Paul is someone who knows what he's doing and listens to me and is learning about horsemanship. And so I just want you to know, for those of you who are watching and are friends and donors of the farm, that these programs directly impact and change lives. And what I hope to be able to do, you're 13, I hope in 12 years we can be in this library or somewhere else, and we can be sitting with newly christened lawyer Paul, who we've been able to see go through law school and college and see his dreams out, because that's what we're about here at Happy Hill Farm. So thank you, Paul. I'm so glad to catch up with you and see you here and let donors hear your story and kind of get another glimpse into what it's like to live at Happy Hill Farm. And I want to give you the opportunity now, Paul, to basically thank the people who make all of this possible. So you can thank them right now.
Thank you for giving me a chance to be with the horses, like helping me learn to be responsible. And thank you for giving me a different place to have different relationships, a different place to learn, and just thank you for letting me be here.
So we just heard from Paul about his love of horsemanship and how his relationship with the horse here at Happy Hill Farm impacted and really honestly changed his life. This is one of the facilities we are really proud of. This is probably our newest building on campus. It's our equestrian center. the riding arena, or we can have shows. We're in the stands right now where kids can do performance and people can come see them. We have, our horsemanship program encompasses many different times and days. We've got after school stuff. We've got during school stuff. We have special stuff for kids like Paul who are exceptionally gifted at horsemanship and need extra time with the animal. And we have things like this at Happy Hill Farm because when kids show up, we want them to be able to find their thing, to find the thing that God has gifted them in, that He's really created them to do and to be. And for a student like Paul, the situation and the background that he came out of probably would have never experienced the equestrian arts. But now at Happy Hill Farm, he can. I have another story that I absolutely love to share. We have a young lady who came to us from Africa, and she came out of a pretty challenging situation with her family. And when she came, she had to pick an extracurricular activity, much like Paul. And she decided on horsemanship. And let me tell you, she bonded with the animal and is one of our most gifted riders in the horsemanship program. Those kind of situations, to think of a student coming out of the kind of backgrounds that Paul and this young lady came out of, getting to do horsemanship is a big deal. And you make this possible. So thank you for giving the kids at Happy Hill Farm opportunities like this. It really does change their life. Man, I think it's so powerful to get to hear from Paul and to see inside the Equestrian Center and just get another sort of behind-the-scenes look at one of the programs that really does change the lives of kids at Happy Hill Farm. And I'm excited to introduce to you Ivy, who's been a part of Happy Hill Farm for years. She has a really wonderful story and background to share about her time at Happy Hill Farm and her continued support and care for the kids. So I'm excited that you're here. I'm excited for you, our donors, to hear from Ivy. And so, Ivy, how long have you been involved with the farm? What's your history of working with the kids?
Oh, well, my husband and I have been involved with the farm for 25 years. Wow. Not unique to myself. All of us here wear many hats. Mm-hmm. And I have done everything from my husband and I starting as house parents to assisting Amanda in tours and giving information to potential house parents, potential day school kids, and now currently working with you on a few events, which Happy Hill Farm Classic on April 16th.
Yes, quick plug, but it's important. It's our next fundraiser. Yeah. Well, I enjoy working with you.
I do too.
Oh, man. Likewise. When Park and Ivy first came, their oldest daughter was in a stroller, and Marissa's now 25. So that's crazy. And so it's been great. I grew up with them, and we were close neighbors. And so I think back at all the different things that we've seen and experienced together with the kids at Happy Hill Farm. We have lots of good memories. And so I want you to speak about that for a minute. So you've been involved for 25 years as various different staff member responsibilities. How have you seen the farm kind of grow and change?
Well, as we all know, working with kids changes daily.
Yeah.
Adapting to their needs, starting in 1975 to today in 2001, meeting their needs socially, meeting their needs academically, meeting their needs technologically, which is kind of a new thing. So, but overall, the big picture change is the opportunities that donors have offered and programs we've been able to create. Mm-hmm. So that's really the biggest change.
Yeah, the campus has grown. For those of you who maybe haven't heard about us or haven't been on campus in a decade or two, man, as you watch these tour videos tonight, as I go in some of these facilities, this is a lot of new opportunities for kids, which I think is super important because we say all the time, our goal really is when a student shows up, when a child shows up, we want them to be able to find that thing that they love, that God has made them passionate about, that he's gifted them in, and then we want to give them an opportunity to dive in. And so we talk about the Equestrian Center, we talk about the FFA program, which has sent lots of kids to college.
Absolutely.
You know, and so they don't even know. Some of these students are coming out of inner city situations or countries where, you know, organized FFA is not even a thing. And so the idea of having an animal and raising it and showing it and selling it and being able to care for it is just completely foreign. But they get here and they try it and they're like, man, I'm good at this. This is something that I can really excel at. And we've sent kids all over the country with FFA scholarships, and that's just one component. It's the same with sports. It's the same with academics. It's the same with the arts. And so that's a good perspective to kind of see how the campus and the program has grown. You've been here for so long. I want you to be able to share, if you feel led, just a meaningful story or something that the donors might not hear on this telethon from your perspective, a good story about somebody at the farm or something that was meaningful to you.
Okay. I think the most meaningful story to me is about a girl named Heather. When we came back in 1996, Heather was 14 years old. And for very sad reasons, home was not an option for Heather. And so on holidays, summers, breaks, Heather would stay with us. Well, Heather graduated and launched into college and adulthood, and we remained her family. Not long ago, several years back, Heather came to us and said, you know, there's something still missing in my life. Even as an adult, talking to my adult friends, I don't get to say my mom and dad do this or that. And we said, let's fix that. And so we did an adult adoption. And so she's ours. We now have 4 kids.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And she jokes with my kids all the time and says that they had you, but they chose me.
Yeah. That's good. I love that. Oh, man, I have a lot of good memories of Heather. Heather and I and Amanda all were in school at the same time together. And so, and I've seen a lot of students from that time in the comments here tonight talking about Sylvia's cookies and the dogs that we had on campus and all those memories.
Sylvia's cookies.
Yeah, in the 90s, the school was a little bit different. It was a little more rural. We didn't have a nice big football field. We were playing on grass with just some big lights. But it's grown and changed so much. But
well, let me tell you about what I think a donor would.
Yeah.
You asked me that.
Yeah.
First of all, my kids grew up here, K through 12. My son is my last one. My baby's graduating this year. But so is one of my daughters who's graduating from college. Yeah. And we're so thrilled to say that she has accepted a position here as a kindergarten teacher next year. And she'll tell you it's because, even as a peer, she watched the students as they came in and where they were through graduation and the transformation. Yeah. And so now my second generation is coming back and wants to be a part.
That's awesome.
But something unique for my husband and I is, I guess we were at year 18, and my husband felt a tug, God talking to him saying, I want to help more. And he said to me, he said, how great would it be to be able to financially help the farm after all these years of just serving the farm. And so with your family's blessing, he went out and sought out a for-profit business to help financially help Happy Hill Farm. Yeah. And I'll tell you, it's been our privilege to not just have given of our time, but to be able to financially give. Yeah. And so we now can resonate, we can understand where the donors are. We're not in direct care with the kids anymore. I help you with events, but we've been here. We've seen it. We see what it takes financially to make these programs happen. And Happy Hill Farm is in our heart. It's our life ministry. And when you get to be a small part of something so much bigger than yourself, and you get to be a part of changing children's lives, it's impossible to not step up and be a part of that. And something you don't know that I talked to my husband about before we got here is we intend to match your match.
Oh, wow. So double match. So that's a big deal. So thank you so much, Ivy.
It is our pleasure.
I think it's a beautiful story to be able to see. And this is why I wanted Ivy to come on and talk to you, our donors, our friends, our supporters, to see the journey that your family has taken from staff and administrative staff all the way into donor, supporter, having the second generation of your family here and involved and still helping kids. I mean, it's a wonderful testament to what God is doing in the lives of these kids, that it's not just my family, but it's also your family.
It is.
There's a lot of families. It's a family ministry, and I don't just mean mine. There's a lot involved that have committed multiple generations to the kids here at Happy Hill Farm, and that is only by the grace of God.
And you know, with that, Lucas, it's not just us as staff. We have so many students back from 25 plus years ago whose children are now here.
Yeah.
Second generation of students because of what Happy Hill Farm did for them. They want the same opportunity for their kids.
Absolutely. And you heard from Heather earlier on in this broadcast. She mentioned some of her resident parents from 20 years ago. And so it's not just administrative staff, it's all the staff. There are so many caring and loving people who are committed now in multiple generations to the kids here at Happy Hill Farm on those breaks, on those holidays, when they come home from college, when they need help with that first car, that first mortgage, to be there for them. And so when we say we are a family, I hope this portion of the broadcast has helped really cement that in your minds. And I want to challenge you right now, if you want to join in the work that the Lord is doing at Happy Hill Farm, if you want to have Ivy and Park match your match this year, give at happyhillfarm.org/give, or you can call to pledge at 469-573-0234. Thank you, Ivy.
My pleasure.
All right, we'll be back in just a few minutes. Thank you so much for watching our first virtual telethon and fundraiser for the kids at Happy Hill Farm. We are so honored that you have watched this so far. We have a whole nother hour of interviews and programming and awards to give away. We're really excited for this next hour to hear from the kids at Happy Hill Farm about the work that is being done here. A couple reminders. You can give at happyhillfarm.org/give. Remember, every dollar is matched. Now, $1 turns into $3 because of that match from Park and Ivy. So I challenge you to give. It goes twice as far, 3 times as far as it normally would tonight. You can also call to pledge at 469-573-0234. Now let's actually put the progress bar up and see where we're at on our $150,000 match goal. We're at $43,750. Wow, that is unbelievable. Thank you so much if you've pledged to the kids at Happy Hill Farm. And I also want to remind you about our raffle. So we are giving away one foursome at our golf tournament on April the 16th at the Cowboys Club, and we are also giving away dinner for 2 at Texas Day Brazil. The way to enter that raffle is to email your name, address, and phone number to info@happyhillfarm.org. Send us an email and you'll be entered into that raffle. info@happyhillfarm.org. Remember, every dollar is matched now triple through the end of the night tonight. Give at happyhillfarm.org/give. I hope at this point in the broadcast, if you've tuned in, if you've seen any of the alumni stories, the current student stories, we heard from Ivy, we've heard from Amanda. I hope you feel at this point and recognize the life-transforming work that happens at Happy Hill Farm. This is a blessed place. We're so honored to be a part of what the Lord is doing, and we will be back in just a moment. Hi, I'm Lucas Shipman here at Happy Hill Farm today, and I'm actually sitting in my grandfather's office, which I use now, and I was thinking through some of the great memories that I have of him and of students here at Happy Hill Farm, and a couple really stand out. This chair was his chair, a big throne here in this room. It's just a giant leather chair that you kind of sink into, and I have so many memories of having kiddos in this office, students from Happy Hill Farm, and him sitting in this chair and me sitting over in the other corner of the room and having wonderful conversations with them, conversations that looked like things that were like, what are you going to do when you graduate? What are your hopes and dreams for your life? What do you want to accomplish? And he would listen. As the student would talk, he would listen and absorb and give the most useful and profound wisdom to the kids. And I can think of one young lady in particular who said, I want to go to the Air Force Academy, which is no small feat, let me tell you. And I remember my grandfather, I remember the look on his face and him thinking, okay, let's get that done. And him dedicating the next few weeks and months until she graduated to calling his friends. Some of you, people that he knew in the community who had the connections that needed to get this girl where she needed to be. And now she's a captain in the United States Air Force. And that's just one story amongst hundreds. Wonderful interactions that have happened in this room. And what I want to tell you is that those interactions haven't stopped. We miss my grandfather. I miss him every day. I miss his vision and his leadership. But we've lost him 4 years ago this month. And the number of conversations that I've had in this room and other rooms on campus with other kids about their future, their hope, their dreams. I just want you to know that the beautiful work that happened for the first 40 years of Happy Hill Farm has continued in the last 5. We're 45 years into our history here. Those conversations are still happening. Those lives are still being changed. The vision and the mission is still being cast for those kids in their future, and they're leaving hopeful, equipped, and ready to be wonderful, productive members of society. I'm honored to be able to sit in my grandfather's chair. to be able to do some of the same things that he did. And I'm honored to still partner with you in helping the kids at Happy Hill Farm. Have a very blessed day. So when a donor asks me, what does my investment in the kids at Happy Hill Farm actually go towards, I just want you to understand that we're not simply changing the life of one student. I think when you heard from Corday earlier, when you heard from Heather, you're about to hear from a wonderful young man named Simeon, a wonderful young man named Alias. I hope you can kind of see the generational impact that your gift to Happy Hill Farm has. We're changing the trajectory of a family. I like to say we replant the family tree in a healthy place, in a beautiful garden, not parched in the desert, maybe what the background of that kid was. But we are doing generational change. That's the work of the Lord here at Happy Hill Farm. Someone said a long time ago that it's easier to build strong children than it is to repair broken men. And isn't that true? The foundation that is laid here, the educational foundation, the challenge to be readers and to be engaged with the news, to be engaged with what's going on in our community, to be thinking critically, and even to learn how to think well and logically. Then you think about the spiritual foundation and the fact that the gospel is the foundation of what the kids are learning and hearing. That Jesus is the King, that God has a plan for their life and a specific calling for them, that He's going to equip them in and see them through to completion. Think about the sports foundation, foundational in the life of a kid, that they're learning how to play a team sport. They're learning how to work together. Think about FFA and the fact that they're learning how to care for an animal, for someone who's dependent upon them. What kind of responsibility and lesson in responsibility that is. That's where your investment goes, directly into building tomorrow's champions, building up the kids who we pray will be future mayors and future teachers and future pastors and faithful and loving and caring moms and dads. That's what we want to see happen at Happy Hill Farm. And so I encourage you, every dollar given until the end of this broadcast is tripled. So give at happyhillfarm.org/give. happyhillfarm.org/give. Or you can call to pledge at 469-573-0234. Those are the ways that you can bring about this generational change. And another way that you can bring about a long-lasting change is thinking about planned giving. So I'm going to invite my friend Chris up here, and we're going to have a little talk about planned giving and estate planning and what that looks like. Thanks for joining us, Chris.
You got it, Lucas. Hey, you're doing a great job tonight. So thank you for doing this and for encouraging people to support the great mission of Happy Hill Farm.
Thanks, man.
You got it.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and what message do you have today for our friends?
Yeah, most definitely. So I've been working in fundraising for almost 20 years now, and I've been supporting Lucas and the Shipman family and everybody out here by running the direct mail program and email. So if you receive a letter in the mail or receive an email from Happy Hill Farm, I have most likely touched that in some way. So hopefully there aren't any misspellings, but if there are,
that's him, definitely.
So I'll take all the blame for it, most definitely. But today what we want to talk about is legacy giving or planned giving or leaving a legacy. And the number one thing that I want to share with you is it's important to make sure that you have a plan in place. So even if you're as young as 30, 35 years old, a lot of people don't think about that. They don't think that something could happen to me. And if something does happen to me, I want to make sure my family is set up and prepared so that it's easy on them to take care of the financial needs that come with an event like that, with a passing away. And so be thinking about that. It's important for you to have a plan in place. And Happy Hill Farm has resources. They have relationships with experts who can help you in that planning. And those experts, they act as third parties. They're acting on your behalf, but they have the knowledge. They know what you need to do to be prepared. And that's the most important thing. But beyond that, you can use legacy giving or planned giving to make a larger impact than you're able to do today by leaving a legacy gift to Happy Hill Farm that can help the boys and girls in years to come. It can compound with interest. It can make a big difference. So it's important for you to be thinking about legacy giving. And also, if you have left a planned gift or a legacy gift or something in your will for Happy Hill Farm, let them know about it so that they can plan, they can honor you in an appropriate manner, and they know what to expect. It's a big help to them just to know, hey, this is there, and so we should be aware of it.
Yeah, I think that's crucial. It's really important for those of you who are our friends and donors to understand we are barreling towards our 50th year of ministry and operation. And that's sort of that spot where if we plan on being around and helping kids for another generation or two, we need a good amount of money in estate gifts and estate planning to be able to think about that next generation. Some of you who are watching this are closer to my age, and maybe your grandparent was the one who knew Ed, my grandfather. And I think that's amazing to be able to say, man, this is multiple generations helping the kids at Happy Hill Farm. But you have put so much, for those of you who are older and really considering, should I leave an estate gift, a bequest, what does that look like? You have put so much work into the money you've made. You've worked hard for it. You've invested it well. You should be thinking about, what is my legacy going to be? And one of the most powerful ways to sort of cement that is to help not just one generation of kids at Happy Hill Farm, but multiple generations. Those estate gifts help for years and years to come. And our endowment is very small here at Happy Hill Farm. I was talking with Chris, and he works with some larger colleges and universities, and there's other programs that are similar budget-wise to ours who are sitting on absolutely massive endowments, and they're set up for years. We're just simply not at this point. We're reaching that point where I know that the Lord is going to bless us, and you're going to bless us with bequests and estate gifts, and we've received many over the last few years. But I just want to challenge you to think about that and really ask that question: how many generations of kids can I serve and bless through my estate at Happy Hill Farm? That would be just a tremendous opportunity to change the lives of thousands of kids.
Yes, it is, as I said it before, Lucas and his team have the knowledge, they have the expertise, they can help you in your planning. So just reach out, shoot them an email, respond to one of the emails that we send to you, and let us know that you'd like some help.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Chris. I'm excited for this next segment. I'm going to talk with a wonderful current student named Simeon. He has a very unique story, and we have a really unique call that we feel like God has put upon us to respond to help a certain group of kids around the world and in the United States. And you're going to hear Simeon and I talk about that. So enjoy this interview. Hi, everybody. I just wanted to give you an opportunity to hear from another one of our students here at Happy Hill Farm. His name is Simeon, and he's been here for, how long have you been here?
I've been here for 2 years. It's my senior year.
2 years. It's a senior year. So we're just going to have a conversation, and you guys get to kind of look in on the life of a student here at Happy Hill Farm. So, Simeon, just kind of tell me some of the things you're involved in and what you like about Happy Hill Farm.
I have had ag since I've come here. This is my third class in ag. I haven't taken any sports. I'm pretty much focused on academics now.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, what are your future plans? Do you want to go to school? What does that look like?
Yeah, I'm looking to go to Trinity University, which is in San Antonio. My plan is to pursue an engineering degree.
Cool. What kind of engineering?
Civil engineering.
Civil engineering. That's awesome. And Simeon's mom and dad, Simeon kind of came to us in kind of a unique way. His mom and dad are missionaries in Senegal. And so kind of tell us a little bit about, what it was like growing up in Africa and the work that your mom and dad do still. They're still there.
Well, obviously they're missionaries and they're trying to preach the gospel. I grew up, since I was born there, I grew up there. All my siblings were born there and grew up there. So I just grew up in the culture. So my first word is in a different language. So this is actually new to me, just as it is for international students. Yeah, so.
What language is the native language in Senegal?
The native language, the official language is French. However, there's a bunch of other languages too.
Gotcha. And so it was like a tribal language that you grew
up
learning?
Yes, I learned a tribal language.
Wow, that's neat. And Simeon is a pretty talented writer, actually, because you wrote last summer a story about how the kids have sort of persevered and overcome the nightmare that was the first few months of COVID, not knowing what was going to go on, and online work and trying to do school through the internet. And you wrote a cool piece, and we put it in our newsletter. So if you read that last summer, this is the Simeon that wrote that story in our newsletter. So thanks for doing that. And tell us a little more about just that transition from, because your sister's here too. Gloria's sister is here with us at Happy Hill Farm. Tell us a little bit about the transition from Africa to the United States as a missionary kid.
Okay, so I used to visit here often, so I knew a little bit about it here, but the culture is very different. Yeah, for example, we eat from the same bowl in Senegal. Yeah, and I, lived in villages and everything, so it's very different. Now that I'm here, it's nicer. You don't really go out as much, especially with the COVID, of course. Mm-hmm. It's very different. It's very different.
Most of the people who are watching this are current donors to Happy Hill Farm. And so, we've brought in Lindsay and Paul and some alumni to kind of help our donors get their minds wrapped around what it's like to be at Happy Hill Farm so they know where their dollars are going and what they're supporting. And so you have a unique story being the son of a missionary family. So kind of just let us know and tell the donors, what's unique about Happy Hill Farm? What do you think?
I would say one of the best things about Happy Hill Farm is their support, because I am a believer in Jesus, and they have really helped support me in that. I am encouraged to go to college. I feel prepared now, because when I was homeschooled, I didn't know what it was going to be like, and my mom wanted me to finish my 11th and 12th grade here when I had the opportunity. So it has really helped me prepared, and they even offer a class that has really helped me prepare for college. Awesome. I also really enjoy having housemates from different countries over the world, and since I grew up in Africa, there's a lot of kids in my house that grew up from Africa. So it's really nice comparing our cultures and just seeing what it's like for them, and it's really fun. See the differences in how we think and everything.
That's awesome. What I want missionary parents who may be watching this, or folks that are in the sending church of missionaries, to kind of know and understand is how important the gospel component is to us at Happy Hill Farm. I know you agree with me. It's the cornerstone, because we've got something like 80% of the students who come here have never heard the gospel. So if you got to talk to missionary parents or a sending church, what would you tell them about like the gospel aspect experience at Happy Hill Farm with your RPs and ministry staff?
I would say that they're all very encouraging, especially the RPs. You can ask them a question that you have regarding Christianity anytime you have one. They're there to support you. If you're emotionally upset, they're there to support you. It's very encouraging.
Gotcha. Well, cool. Well, I just wanted to share Simeon's story with you and let him talk to you a little bit about his life and what it's like here at Happy Hill Farm. And I also wanted you to know that this is a new and exciting part of our program here at Happy Hill Farm. We've been helping kids from all kind of backgrounds for, as you know, 45 years. But we're very interested in this concept of helping missionary families who are overseas and have high school age kids that they would like educated in the United States. It's just a great opportunity for them to kind of learn American culture, to get involved in sort of their parents' past life, or where their parents are from, and then be able to get into a university or go back into the mission field. So I'm just going to kind of open up this to you. If you're watching this and you know of a missionary family with high school age kids who'd like to study in the United States, call me, tell me about it. We would love to offer a scholarship to that family and help them. We are in the process of, if you've gotten our founder's book, we're in the process of raising money to build 3 more residences. So we will have space soon for these students. And Simeon and Gloria are a blessing to us, and we're so happy to have them at Happy Hill Farm. And we want to open that opportunity to more missionary families. So let us know, and we'd love to get applications for that and be able to offer scholarships to those families like we do to families in the United States and international students too. Because as you know, 90% of the kids who are here at Happy Hill Farm are on a full scholarship. And so we want to be able to bless not just domestic kids and international kids, but we really would love to bless more missionary families who are doing good gospel work overseas, and we can help educate their kids here. So Simeon, a lot of the people watching this telethon are current donors. And I just want to give you the opportunity because, you know, we're not doing a whole lot of tours right now over the last year. And I want them to be able to hear directly from you just why the farm has mattered to you, and then just, you know, give you an opportunity to thank them because they're watching this and they want to know who they're helping, and you are who they're helping. And so, yeah, you can look into the camera and thank them.
I would like to thank you for the opportunity to study here. I know you guys have set this up for me. And as a fellow believer, it is really important to me to get this education. And since my parents are missionaries, it's really helped them. I would just like to thank you, or as we would say it in Pular, my native language, well, in Senegal, we would say, Wanjaram. Thank you.
I'll repeat what I just said. If you know anyone in your church that you give to that is a missionary overseas doing the Lord's work, and they have middle school or high school students that they would like to have come back to the United States to get their education here, we would love to look at their application, to begin the process of discussing that with the family. We are in a really unique place, I feel like, where we can offer that scholarship help. I haven't said it up to this point, but it's in our literature repeatedly. 90% of the kids who are boarding here are on scholarship. So it is a massive deal. When you give, when you think about how every dollar is triple matched tonight during the telethon, that goes directly to the 90% of the kids that we care for that need that scholarship money. I encourage you to give. Go to happyhillfarm.org/give. We've done matches before, lots in our history, through fall festivals and at the Cowboys Luncheon. I've never even heard of a triple match. But we've got one going tonight. So take advantage of that. Jump on there. If you feel like the Lord is calling you to help the kids at Happy Hill Farm, give or share, comment, let people know, because this video, I really want this shared, this telethon, because it is a wonderful 3-hour behind-the-scenes look at what happens at Happy Hill Farm and the work that the Lord is doing, which is so exciting. I'm just blessed and humbled to be a part of the Lord's work here. If you have known about Happy Hill Farm or heard of us before, you probably know that we're connected with the Dallas Cowboys. You may not understand what that connection looks like or what it entails, but I'm excited to talk about it for a few minutes here during the telethon. Way, way back in the day, we met Coach Landry, and he took a liking to Happy Hill Farm. He became fast friends with my grandfather, and Coach Landry served on our board for years faithfully as a supporter of the kids at Happy Hill Farm. Upon his passing, he served all the way up until then. And then when the Jones family bought the team, the relationship continued with the Dallas Cowboys and is grown and is even better than what it was years and years ago. Every August, we have the Dallas Cowboys kickoff luncheon on the field at AT&T Stadium, and it supports the kids at Happy Hill Farm. It's such an exciting event. It's such a wonderful way. We're so thankful to the Jones family and the Cowboys organization for giving us the platform to be able to share share what we do at Happy Hill Farm. That's what that relationship really is. They give us one of the greatest brands on the planet and one of the most positive sports teams, and we can talk about what we do at Happy Hill Farm at that event. It's a beautiful opportunity. And coming out of that opportunity is we make videos every year for the Dallas Cowboys kickoff luncheon. And so you're going to see two back-to-back videos, and they star a young man named Alias. The first one is his 2012 luncheon video, and the next one is the 2018 luncheon video. And it is just, he came to us at 5 years old. And he'll tell you his story. From 5 to 18, Alias was with us. And I'm just excited for you to see this. I'm so proud of him. He's one of my favorite young men. So enjoy these videos from the Dallas Cowboys kickoff luncheon about Alias.
I'm Alias, and I came from Ethiopia, and I went to Happy Hill at the age of 7. As soon as we got to America, we didn't know where to go for school. At church, one of my mom's friends came up to her and told her about Happy Hill. It's the first school we heard about, so we came and toured, and we liked it. They just took me in, and they treated me like family. Most of my learning English came from my kindergarten teacher. Her name is Miss Ruth. I couldn't really speak any English because I came from Ethiopia. She taught me how to read, write, and speak at all. We just instantly bonded.
The Courage House has been very special to the Dallas Cowboys. It is a way for us to show that even though you go through extreme adversity, that if people believe in you and people encourage you, that you truly can maximize your potential and make the most out of who you are. To be a part of the Courage House is truly an honor and a privilege. And these children at Happy Hill Farm have to actually earn their way through setting goals and through their behavior to become eligible to actually live in the Courage House.
I tried to work my way up there. They had all kinds of video games, and they had a lot of movies, and it's just like a family home. I do pretty good in academics. I have mostly A's. I try to do my best and keep staying on the right track and help out the other kids. I play linebacker, which is my favorite position. I'm going to do my best to win state. I've learned to set goals. I really want to keep my GPA up. When I go to college, I want to be a speech therapist. Happy Hill helped me out, and I want to go help out other people. I wouldn't be the same person I was if I hadn't gone to Happy Hill. I'd be like a troublemaker probably.
Now, Happy Hill Farm is an inspiration to us, the Dallas Cowboys, and it inspires us to do what we can do to help them impact the lives of other people.
I'm thankful for everybody that provides for Happy Hill, like the Cowboys and everybody that's at the luncheon. I'm thankful that they support us and hope they continue to support us because this program helps kids come out and go to college and have a brighter future.
Alias's story is a great example of why we do what we do to help Happy Hill Farm. And the great news is that there are many other stories like Alias's that exist at Happy Hill Farm. We hope that you too will join us in supporting this great organization.
My name is Alias Demisi. I'm originally from Ethiopia. My family and I moved to Dallas in 2002. It took us about 2 months before we actually found a school, and we ended up finding Happy Hill. I didn't know any English at the time, so that was a little bit of a problem. So I had to go back to kindergarten, and that's when I met Miss Ruth, who just went out of her way to teach me English. We'd spend extra hours here at the school, and she would give me like little books and packets to read, and I would just have to spend extra time trying to catch up with everybody. But people just putting all their time and effort into me just kind of shows me how much of a family you build here. When my friends asked me about Happy Hill and what it was like to go to a boarding school, they all just kind of assume it's kind of like college already. You're in a dorm, you kind of do what you want, go to class. But what they don't understand is, and what I try to convey to them is that it's kind of like being at home. It's like your second home. You have resident parents, you got a lot of other friends like your brothers that are there with you. You eat meals with them, you go to class with them. It's just kind of gives you a second family away from home. One of my favorite memories while I was at Happy Hill would definitely be going to the Cowboys kickoff luncheon every year, meeting all the Cowboys. The Cowboys are my team, so it's always cool to go meet them and see who all they've added and kind of talk to them, take pictures with them. That's just something I still brag about today, and I just won't forget that. It's probably one of my favorite memories. Sports at Happy Hill, it's very big, and I would say football is probably my favorite. Specifically, my sophomore year, we ended up going to state, and that was probably one of my favorite memories. And it was a great season for all of us, but sports have been a really big part of my life. It's kind of guided me to where I am today. And it also has guided me towards physical therapy, for which I'll be starting grad school here this summer. Growing up without my dad, my mom had to work a lot harder to provide not just for me, but for my 3 older sisters. But once I got to Happy Hill, they kind of stepped into that father figure. First on that comes to mind would be Mr. Dotson, my house parents, who is still with me, and he kind of just guides me, and I still visit with him all the time. And if I'm having some trouble, he's one of the first people that I call. We had homecoming over at Hardin Simmons, and I had Brandon and Christy Dawson escort me, and they were by my side, and he kind of just filled in that missing piece of my life. Here I am graduating college, about to start grad school, and looking back at everything that's happened, I don't think I'd be where I am without Happy Hill. Coming from Ethiopia, if I went to public school, I don't even know if I would have had the opportunity to go to college, and I just feel like not only has Happy Hill given me the opportunity to do all the stuff that I've done, but it's also given me a solid foundation to where I can succeed anywhere that I go. They've helped me spiritually, intellectually, and just kind of built me to be the person that I am today. And for that, I will forever be thankful.
How awesome is it to see Alias, who is just living, breathing proof of all of the love that staff and faculty poured into him, to see those pictures and videos of him at 5 years old in kindergarten, coming in, not being able to speak English. And then what's going to be awesome is hopefully next year we'll get Dr. Alias on camera and talk to him about his experience now in his accomplishments. I mean, I can't say enough how proud we are of him. What a wonderful example of what can happen when people care, when you give to the lives of kids at Happy Hill Farm, when the staff and the faculty and all those teachers that you saw hugging him, seeing him return, pouring their lives out for him. I mean, that's what happens here at Happy Hill Farm. So we are so proud of you, Alias. And I'm so honored to be able to share your story and to see that he chose the Courage House, that he lived in that residence here on our campus. What a great connection between a life changed and the help that the Cowboys give us with the platform every year at the luncheon. We're so very grateful for that. And this next guest that we have on the telethon, you are going to recognize his voice. He is the radio voice of the Dallas Cowboys, Mr. Brad Sham.
Hi, friends. It's Brad Sham, the radio voice of the Dallas Cowboys, and for many, many, many years, a friend of Happy Hill Farm, and that's why I'm here. I've had family members helped by the farm. I've had a long affiliation through the Dallas Cowboys with the farm. I know so well of the great work they do, and that's why I'm here, to appeal to you to help, especially in this time when the pandemic has caused such good works to suffer so much. It's a time for all of us to do our part, reach a little more deeply if we can, and do whatever's possible to help. Please join in, make a donation to Happy Hill Farm. It's for the kids, and it's for our future.
Thank you, Brad. It's wonderful. We're so thankful for your support through the years, and I look forward to hearing your voice this fall as you call a hopefully very successful Dallas Cowboys season. Now, I just want to remind you again, every dollar given is triple matched tonight. happyhillfarm.org/give. happyhillfarm.org/give. And you can call to pledge at 469-573-0234. Thank you so much for those of you who've given tonight to the telethon to help the kids out at Happy Hill Farm. Now let's look at our progress, where we're at of our $150,000 match goal. Let's see, we are at 45.6. Wow, amazing. Thank you so much for giving to the kids at Happy Hill Farm. Remember, every dollar is triple match. So visit happyhillfarm.org/give. happyhillfarm.org/give. What a wonderful opportunity we've had to come together to help the kids at Happy Hill Farm. So now I'm going to talk about this raffle. I'd like to give you one final reminder of what that looks like. I'm waiting for the information to come up on my screen real quick. We're giving away a foursome to the upcoming Happy Hill Farm Classic Golf Tournament and one dinner for two at Texas Day Brazil. To be entered into that raffle, all you have to do is submit your name, address, and phone number. Send an email to info@happyhillfarm.org. Send that email and you'll be entered into that raffle. Just a quick way to thank you for your support of the kids. I also want to thank FlowServe again as the sponsor for this live stream. They gave and made this possible. All of this technology that goes into a live stream, they gave to make it possible. I want to also thank FlowServe in a unique way for their gift to the 5K last fall. It was an amazing fundraising event. You know, last fall we were thinking, well, we couldn't have the luncheon, we didn't have the golf tournament. What are we going to do? Well, let's do a virtual 5K. And we had almost 2,000 miles run or rode on the bike or walked, and it was just a great experience. And FlowServe sponsored that, made it possible with the online registration technology, and gave everybody access to be able to run along with the students at Happy Hill Farm in their neighborhoods, and that was a really neat event. And I hope this fall we can have the second annual FlowServe 5K, and we can do it again on our campus live with kids and have people out, and then maybe have some barbecue afterward. That would be a wonderful event this fall. So again, reminder to donate. Donate at happyhillfarm.org/give. happyhillfarm.org/give. We'll be right back. This is a really special segment for me, this point in the telethon. If you're watching, some of you I personally invited as the family members of the people who won this award. I'm glad you're watching. I'm excited for you to hear this honoring of your parents or maybe your grandparents. But we decided to end this telethon with four families, four people who really exemplify the quality donors and supporters that we have at Happy Hill Farm. These are folks who have gone above and beyond in their support, in their service, in their sharing the mission of the farm and bringing people out and helping me think about mission and vision. These are some of our most special friends. And it's been a while since we have given out awards, but I'm excited to do this every year. We have such a large group of people who so faithfully give to the kids and do so in such a wonderful and just incredible manner. And so these four are the first recipients, and we will honor the next four recipients either at the Dallas Cowboys kickoff luncheon or one of our fall events. But we're calling this the Champion for Children Award. And these four families just exemplify what that means, that they champion the cause of the kids at Happy Hill Farm. They go above and beyond in every manner of their support for the kids. And the first people who won this award are Dale and Judy Rogers. Mr. and Mrs. Rogers, I don't even know where to begin, Dale. I'm so blessed by your friendship. The kids are so blessed by your friendship and your board service and your giving through the years. I remember Judy came out to Happy Hill Farm years ago with a tour group from Granbury, I think, and met my grandfather, Ed, and just recognized the work that was being done here and wanted to join in. And Dale has been a board member now for a while and joined in the work and has been supporting the kids at Happy Hill Farm. And I have a fun story from Mr. and Mrs. Rogers. So about 15 years ago, my grandfather realized if you've been out to the farm, 144 is the road, the interstate that's in front of our school, and it's 2-lane. And so he was like, man, we really need to put a turn lane in so that people can get over and other people can pass them safely. We had a couple people who were run into because it's pretty hard to see if someone's turning on a 2-lane road going 60 miles per hour at night. And so he did what he always did as a proactive guy, my grandfather, and called our local representative. And somehow, I'm not sure how it all went down, but as things go, we got permission to put in a turn lane as long as we paid for it. And so my grandfather went to Mr. Rogers and said, look, this is an expensive project. I really need help. We got permission, but we need money to be able to do it. And so I joke with Dale every time we're there, when the choir's there at Christmas to sing, that's the Rogers turn lane. And so I thank you for that. Craig, if you're watching, I thank you for your support. You guys are such a meaningful part of what we do here at Happy Hill Farm, and I want you to know from the bottom of my heart and from my family how grateful we are for you and your service and your support. And I want to show you this quick video as a thank you.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Rogers.
Thank you so much, Mr. and Mrs. Rogers.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Rogers, for your donations over the years and for your service to our children at Happy Hill Farm.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Rogers.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Rogers.
Thank you so much, Mr. and Mrs. Rogers.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Rogers.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. and Mrs. Rogers. And the next family that we're going to honor is Joyce Bernard and her family. And when I think back at people who've been impactful in the lives of kids, I have a hard time coming up with anybody who's done more than Joyce and Bob. Bob had such a wonderful relationship with my grandfather. And Joyce has so faithfully continued that work in the lives of kids here and taken such a personal interest. Joyce, I thank you for that, in the lives of the kids that you scholarship. Those kids that you take care of, that you check in on, that come to visit you when we do choir outings and things like that. I actually have a picture in my office of Bob and of my grandfather Ed, and this is probably early 80s, and they're standing on top of a concrete slab that has plumbing and electrical coming out of it. And the funny story there is my grandfather laid the foundation for some of our early residences, put in plumbing and electrical, and then ran out of money. And so this picture is of him and Bob just standing there kind of looking down and looking out over these 500 acres, which were at the time mostly mesquite trees, and dreaming and planning and thinking together about what Happy Hill Farm may become 20, 30 years down the line. So Joyce, Mike, Britt, man, if you're watching, I just want to thank you so much for your family's commitment to the kids at Happy Hill Farm. I want to honor Bob for all of the work, for the pool, for when you walk into the school, it's one of the first names you see, Joyce and Bob Bernard. The bell tower, so many things and buildings and times that my grandfather had to call and go, I need help. And now that I call and you still pick up the phone, Joyce. So you know that we love you and we honor you. And I want to share this quick video as a thank you to you.
Thank you, Mrs. Bernard.
Thank you, Mrs. Bernard.
Thank you, Mrs. Bernard, for your gifts. You and Bob have helped make Happy Hill Farm what it is today.
Thank you, Mrs. Bernard.
Thank you, Mrs. Bernard.
Thank you, Bernard family, for helping changing lives.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joyce. I honor you as a special friend of Happy Hill Farm. And the next family that I want to honor the recipient of the 2021 Champion for Children Award is the Browning family. Oh my goodness. I called my grandmother today and I said, what's a good memory that you have of Jane? And she said, she was one of the best people that I ever met. And she had such a wonderful relationship with my grandparents. And I think through legacy giving, and I think through the Browning daughters and my relationship with you and the way you continue to faithfully give through your company and your family foundation. It's just an absolutely beautiful picture of what we've talked about this whole telethon, which is multi-generational change. You have made that possible in the lives of so many children. This is a long-standing relationship that goes back a long time, and we can walk into that welcome center, and it's absolutely beautiful because of the gifts of your family. And we can see that portrait of Jane with her dogs that she loves so much, and it's just such a beautiful portrait. And I thought back, oh my goodness, like what just a glimpse into such a sweet lady that cared so much for the kids at Happy Hill Farm. So I honor you, Browning family. I honor you for your continued giving. I thank you for continuing to partner in this work. When you see kids like Heather and Alias and Paul and Simeon, you're still making a difference in the lives of kids. Watch this video as a thank you from us.
Thank you for all you've done, Browning family.
Thank you, Browning family.
Thank you, Browning family, for your support and donations over the last 40 years.
Thank you, Browning family. Thank you so much for helping change lives.
Thank you, Browning family.
Thank you so much, Browning family.
Thank you, Browning family.
Thank you so much, Browning family.
Thank you.
Thank you, Browning family. As I said, I talked to my grandmother this morning, and she said there were many times that we would not have gotten through a moment without the help from you guys, so I thank you. And the next winner of the Champion for Children Award is Tommy and Scotty Miller. Tommy, I think back to those early years being on the board of directors here at Happy Hill Farm, and the fact that I didn't know nothing about nothing. And you are such a wonderful and amazing presence to have in that room to think about you as a Christian man. You were just such an example to me. I know my grandfather absolutely loved being around you. And so I just want to honor you for your service for those years and years and years, and continuing service to the kids at Happy Hill Farm by leading, by deciding, by voting on stuff, by considering the future and the mission and the vision. And then everything you and Scotty have done through Interstate and your own foundation and the just tremendous level of giving that you have blessed the farm with. Just if you watch through this telethon, all of those kids have been directly impacted by you. You've been involved for so long. So I want to thank you. I want to honor you. I've been in your house a number of times. Some of the most warm and inviting people I know, and you have just blessed the kids on the farm tremendously. So thank you, Tommy and Scotty Miller. And I want to show you this video as a thank you.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Miller.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Miller. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. and Mrs. Miller.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Miller, for your generosity over the years and your support for our children at Happy Hill Farm.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Miller.
You are changing lives, Mr. and Mrs. Miller.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Miller.
You are changing lives, Mr. and Mrs. Miller. Thank you so much.
For all of us here at Happy Hill Farm, thank you.
Thank you so much, Millers, for your help and your prayers and your contributions and your service to the kids at Happy Hill Farm. I am honored to know and to partner with all of those 4 families. You guys change lives every day. I hope you know how appreciative we are and all the kids are at Happy Hill Farm for your help. And I just got an alert. We are just $800 away from the $50,000 mark for this telethon. So I encourage you to give at happyhillfarm.org/give. happyhillfarm.org/give. Help us get to that $50,000 amount where every dollar tonight is triple matched. It's a beautiful opportunity for you to be able to really help the kids at Happy Hill Farm in a way that we haven't had a match like this maybe ever. And so it's a great opportunity. We're only $800 away from the $50,000 mark. So please give to the kids for scholarships and support here tonight. Now, as I was going through those thank yous to those 4 families and the reality of the generational impact and the long-term legacy giving that they've had to the kids at Happy Hill Farm, I thought, you know what? One of the most impactful videos that we've ever shared is the tribute video to my grandfather. To be able to actually hear the generational story of impact from us at Happy Hill Farm and to hear his heart and his mission from his very lips. And so I don't think there's any other fitting way to end this first telethon any better than by showing this video and hearing the story from him again. So here's my grandfather's tribute video.
I've had a wonderful life in the sense that God has let me be a part of the lives of so many people.
Ed's accomplishments over the years have been nothing short of remarkable. I think that's the one thing I will always take away from Ed is his just dogged determination in good times and bad times. He has a vision, and that vision is being lived out every day at the farm.
For as long as I can remember, I've grown up fundraising and traveling with my grandfather. I started when I was 5, riding in his Suburban, going to generous donors around the Metroplex and meeting them and learning what he does. He's shown me through all of that, he does it for the love of children, to help them and transform them and create and grow Christian individuals that will be productive citizens in our country.
One of my favorite things about my grandfather is to watch him interact with the alumni that come back to campus. They genuinely see him as their grandfather. His presence is just such a settling presence to all of us. And That's going to be hard to not have that every day. But when I was a kid and I didn't understand him or what he was doing or the reason that any of this mattered, I could have easily thought of a world without him, and now that's exceedingly difficult because I understand the legacy that he's left and the fact that we have some kids enrolled in our school who are kids of kids who have graduated, which is an amazing thing. I mean, what kind of gift is that to not just be able to impact a few kids, but generations of the same family positively? It's just a wonderful thing we have. He's given us to carry on.
His determination, his hard work, his perseverance, even when times were tough. His goal every day was to help children, and he never lost sight of that. I think what my brother and I took away the most from spending so much time with my dad is his genuine Christian concern for people and the love he showed to people regardless of their background or their position in life. And he taught us to always help people in any way that we could.
If I would want to make one point to some young Christian out there, pastor, family man, salesman, whatever, make yourself available. I mean, the opportunities will be there. Spirit of God will open them up to you. But most folks just sort of, that's as far as they go. I mean, they hear it, they go home, they live 6 more days exactly the way they did before. But just make yourself available. And then look around. It's just a miracle. One miracle after the other. Not without hard work. I figured out a long time ago, you pray hard and you work hard, and they go together. But blessing upon blessing upon blessing.
I think Ed Shipman's legacy will be his wonderful heart and how big it is and was, and how much he loved and cared for every single person that he encountered and every single person that came to this school and every single person that ever worked for him.
Mr. Shipman, without him, I don't think I could have done it. I think I would have still been a lost kid, not knowing what to do and being doubtful and always being stressed out. Without Mr. Shipman, I don't think I would be the person I am today.
Mr. Shipman is such a great man. I mean, to build all this from almost nothing, and of course the Lord helped him, but all this perseverance he's had, I mean, I know I couldn't last that long. I mean, starting from practically nothing with only God. I mean, he's almost like Abraham in a ways. God just called him to start this place, and I'm sure that he's converted so many people to Christianity.
I think I want people to most remember and know about him that he was the most selfless, giving man I've ever met and gave his whole life in every way to help serve others.
Gloria and I have done this together, 62 years. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She's special. She is special, isn't she, Lucas? Yep, she's special. And then my grandkids, and now my beautiful great-grandkids. So many blessings. Won't it be fun to get to heaven someday and see all the people whose paths you've crossed and that have interacted with you, and you've blessed them and they've blessed you. I love that scene from C.S. Lewis's The Great Divorce, in which he describes the lady out in the field of flowers and the kids, running toward her. Lucas, I've said so much, you don't have anything to say.
It's the truth. There's so many blessings, blessing upon blessing. If we just take the time to look up and look around at our lives and see what the Lord has graciously given to us. This place is a blessing to thousands of kids through its 46-year history. I'm going to be here as long as the Lord keeps me around, and I'm going to continue to love them and to lead them and to do everything in partnership with you in equipping them to be the men and women that God made them to be. It's just this has been such a humbling experience for me to be reminded of the lives changed, to just remember the beautiful work that's done here. And I thank you. If you've given to this telethon, thank you. Thank you for remembering us. Thank you for keeping us in your prayers. Thank you for considering the kids and helping the kids through a contribution. We've just reached $50,000 on our way to the match, and so we are so grateful to you. I just want you to know that we are going to keep the matching opportunity open until Friday at midnight. So that's a whole another day that you can give, and your dollar will be tripled at happyhillfarm.org/give. If you're watching this playback, know that until Friday at midnight, every dollar will be tripled. Give at happyhillfarm.org/give to change the lives of more kids at Happy Hill Farm. We're going to announce the winners of the raffle for the foursome at the Cowboys tournament and the dinner for two at Texas Day Brazil next week. You will be reached via email if you are the winner. And I also want to remind you, I'm really excited about it, next week, the Founders Mailing drops into your mailbox. So if you're a donor at Happy Hill Farm, you know what that is. You know what's inside of it. I challenge you to pledge, to tell us what you're going to be able to do for the kids at Happy Hill Farm so we can plan our budget for this year. When I said earlier on that we're a prayer ministry, I meant it. We only spend on the kids what is brought in, what the Lord sends in through you, our friends and donors. So I challenge you, open up that mailing, read it, celebrate with us, celebrate the good work that was still done even in a challenging year like 2020 at Happy Hill Farm. And then look forward with me to this completion of the campus of Happy Hill Farm, the really seeing through of the vision my grandfather had, and the ability that we will be able to have to help even more kids with the cafetorium and the new residences. I thank you for your support. I thank you for your prayers. May the Lord be with you and bless you and keep you. Good night from Happy Hill Farm.